They say human calculations are no match for heaven's plans. The wise ones may say heaven's plans are no match for my calculations. But Yao Guang would say, stop calculating, I'll do it myself. As the preeminent diviner, she observes weal and woe with the eye of the hunt, of rejecting the notion of predestination. As general of the Yuchue, she prefers not to remain behind the scenes dividing fortunes. Instead, she steps directly into the board, becoming the decisive variable that turns the tide. On this episode of Keep It Up with Star Rail, we're taking a closer look at the diviner who refuses to play by the rules, the seer strategist, Yao Guang. Today, we're honored to welcome Master Diviner Fu Xuan as our guest on the show.
Hello, everyone. General Jing Yuan was originally scheduled to attend today, but I am here as his replacement due to a last-minute change in his plans.
Let me guess. He said that before you became a general, appearing on camera more often would help establish a good image early on, right?
How do you know? You're saying I got sweet-talked into this again?
You're already an expert sweet talker yourself, so why?
You think I didn't know? Is it so hard to believe I came because the program caught my interest?
Oh, well, speaking of interesting things, you've come for the right episode. But before we introduce General Yao Guang, let's first briefly introduce the path of Elation. Unlike other paths, Elation bears the influence of Aha's touch, and its combat style is best summed up in one word. Lively.
Oh? How lively?
In short, it's lively because whenever a character following the path of Elation enters combat, Aha shows up too. When Aha takes action, the battlefield enters an Aha instant. During the instant, ally Elation characters coordinate their actions using Elation skills in sequence. Each character's Elation skill has a different effect. Some focus on dealing damage, while others specialize in buffs or debuffs.
So how is the order of these actions determined?
That's something you'll have to ask Aha.
Huh?
Aha hands out an actor number to every Elation character. And how those numbers are chosen? That's entirely at Director Aha's discretion.
Forget it. Despite the urge to find answers, to contend seriously with a Joy Seeker would be to court futility.
Honestly, the rating pistol might give you a better answer than Aha. One thing we can't be sure of, though, is Aha's fondness for people with a sense of humor. We call that sense of humor elation, and that elation value directly affects the elation damage characters deal. Elation characters have higher elation values and are able to create punchlines. The more punchlines allies accumulate, the bigger the show during the Aha instant, and the higher the elation damage dealt. After the Aha instant ends, all accumulated punchlines are claimed by Aha.
I have long heard that the Joy Seeker is generous in rewarding those who amuse them. But is that generosity extended to battles?
On that point, you can trust Aha. Give Aha a good laugh, and Aha will grant blessings. When the Aha instant ends, Aha shares their joy with the Elation characters on the field, allowing that joy to linger for some number of turns. This effect is called a certified banger. There's more than one kind of joy in the world. After obtaining certified banger, different characters trigger different effects. For example, when Yao Guang has certified banger, she provides support to the entire team, while Sparksy uses it to further enhance her own damage. The more punchlines consumed during the Aha instant, the stronger the effects of certified banger. It's also worth noting that certified banger can be obtained multiple times. Each instance stacks in strength, and each has its own separate duration. In other words, by making Aha instants appear more frequently, you get more certified banger, which serves to further strengthen the power of certified banger. To sum it up, everything about the Elation path centers on the Aha instant. During the Aha instant, Elation characters take action together, unleashing skill effects and massive amounts of Elation damage. When the Aha instant ends, Aha leaves behind certified banger, triggering special effects for the Elation characters on the field. Both Elation damage and the strength of certified banger are closely tied to the number of punchlines, the degree of Elation, and how frequently Aha acts, which of course plays right into General Yao Guang's strengths. Yao Guang is a physical character following the path of Elation. She has multiple ways to generate punchlines and can raise Elation for all allies. But most importantly, she can trigger additional Aha instants. When using her basic attack, Yao Guang deals physical damage to one designated enemy and its adjacent targets. Her basic attack also regenerates additional energy. When using her skill, Yao Guang's Spiritus takes the form of a feather fan, which she uses to create a zone. While the zone exists, all allies get increased elation. And after Yao Guang uses her basic attack or skill, allies can gain punchline points.
Senior Sora Spiritus is the Kala Chakra sky plume and represents the Hunt's vision, one of the 7 aspects of the rainbow, a symbol of foresight, verdict, and self-discipline. She gained the Eye of Ishvara, with which she can observe weal and woe alike.
After using her technique to enter battle, Yao Guang automatically uses her skill once, which does not consume a skill point. And when Yao Guang is in the team, breaking destructible objects yields fortune pouches. I've heard that whenever Xinzhou people mention General Yao Guang, they like to call her Madam Yao. Is that because she has a habit of handing out fortune pouches so generously?
That is not the case. Senior Sora earned the title Madam Yao through her exceptional fortune and success. She helped usher in a golden age of trade for the Yuchue, improving livelihoods across the Xinzhou. Thus, the people hold her in the highest esteem, as one would a goddess of fortune.
Fair point. But I'm always dropping piles of credits myself, and yet nobody calls me Sir Albert. Anyway, let's get back to business. When using her Elation skill, Yao Guang applies Woe's Whisper to all enemies, then deals Elation damage to all enemies. Enemy targets affected by Woe's Whisper take increased damage for a set number of turns.
When divining one's own side, one seeks good omens for protection, but when casting lots for the enemy, only ill omens are welcome.
That's right! After unlocking a specific trace, Yao Guang herself gains a crit damage boost. In addition, after using her Elation skill, she recovers 1 skill point for allies. After the Aha instant ends, Yao Guang obtains Certified Banger. Whenever an ally character uses an attack, regardless of the character's path, one randomly hit target takes an additional instance of Elation damage. Moreover, this attack triggers 1 additional instance of Elation damage if skill points are consumed. After unlocking a specific trace, when Yao Guang obtains Certified Banger, its duration is extended by 1 turn. When the ultimate is used, allies gain punchline and all type res penetration is increased. Most importantly, Aha immediately gains 1 extra turn. Put simply, it triggers an additional Aha instant. This lets all allied Elation characters use their Elation skills once again and further boost the power of Certified Banger. Notably, this Aha instant does not consume any punchline points. Aha being bossed around like that? That's embarrassing.
Senior Sora's talent for putting people to work rivals her mastery of divination itself.
From the sound of it, you've been bossed around by her more than once, huh?
I conduct myself with propriety. I am not one to be casually commanded.
Now to sum it up. Yao Guang is a versatile support character who provides core buffs to Elation lineups. Her ability to trigger additional Aha instants allows allies to use Elation skills more frequently and accelerates the accumulation of Certified Banger's power. While Yao Guang has Certified Banger, all allied characters, regardless of path, are able to deal additional Elation damage. She also has several methods of obtaining punchline points, and her skill increases all allies' Elation, further amplifying Elation damage for Elation lineups. With the all-type res penetration from her ultimate and vulnerability from her Elation skill, enemies have little choice but to call it a day amidst tears and laughter. That reminds me, since your Senior Sora is both a general and a diviner, has she ever calculated how you might become a general yourself?
She did cast a divination for me once, but
What?
the meaning behind it is too profound, and even now, I've yet to fully grasp it.
Oh? How so?
Her divinations have never followed convention, and she always finds unorthodox paths. That time, she used a freshly baked pastry as her medium, studied its brown marks and golden crust, and declared that the heavens had already revealed their will. The patterns on that pastry shifted and darkened unpredictably. Sesame seeds lay scattered like stars, as if concealing some heavenly secret. I pondered upon it at length, yet its mystery would not yield. Perhaps that was her message. I'm not there yet, and I still need to work harder before I can become a general.
The Master Diviner may not be an expert at sweet-talking, but when it comes to self-motivation, her talent is nothing short of exceptional.
The God of Elation hereby declares, the winner of this game gets to be an Eon for 1 minute. Dance, fight, revel in it all. Come, try your hand at becoming a god. Honkai Star Rail, new world debut. Spark the world with joy.
The Fantasmoon Games, Aha's games. Every full Fantasmoon, 8 supplicants take turns stepping onto the stage. Whoever can pull off a miracle may become the Eon of Elation for 1 minute. 2144 AE, the Arcadia's first, or maybe the 100th games. That Adrian Spencer Smith fellow claimed victory. After 1 minute, nothing happened. People believe he used divine power to create that famous fable. But who knows? He disappeared without a trace. Fast forward to 2146 AE. A massive text exodus occurred at the same time across every star system. Tech, history, the words ran right off the pages and screens, including every last record on the Eden of Blessed Insight. So who was this killer? No Victor, a cremator, Riddler, or pure child of a Nasrava? 2147 AE, out of nowhere, a cry. All life within 1 light year of Epsilon suddenly burst into wailing sobs. Soon after, the IPC moved the Interastral Peace Entertainment HQ nearby. By peddling smiles, they raked in enough to build an entire Astropolis. In 2157 AE, the victor was a doctor of chaos. She sought to create a universe with an afterlife. With a resounding laugh, phantoms of the dead flooded the Lafcadio star system. A corner of the past was unveiled. Observers caught a fleeting glimpse of an Astral Express navigator on Adlavin. Rumor has it that Oswaldo, the IPC bigwig, won the Fantasmoon Games in his youth. But like so many truths twisted by the power of elation, the rumors faded away, buried by the victors lost to time. If you ask me, the best miracle is always the next one. Don't you think? Sponsored by History Fictionologists.
We're about to warp! Everyone, over here!
Good evening or good morning, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome into the Astral Rift Rumble. Team Kafka versus Team Blade. I'm Goj, also Blade tonight, if you can't tell. And I'm really excited to be your hosting caster for this amazing Astral Rift Rumble. We've got an awesome cross-community celebration here with Honkai Star Rail and Fortnite. And I'm so excited to get into the action. But I have to bring in my second half here, my second co-caster, and of course, Kafka herself dressed tonight. We've got the best Taco joining me as my co-caster. Taco, how you feeling about tonight? And obviously, you look fantastic as well.
Hey, what can I say? Blade, you're really putting on a show yourself, Coach, but I'm really looking forward to this. I mean, anytime we get to see both worlds collide, basically, I mean, you got Fortnite, awesome creators coming out of the Honkai Star Rail community. I'm just really excited to see how they all basically mingle together in tonight's showdown.
Yeah, we've got a lot to talk about, but first and foremost, I've got to talk about not only our amazing outfits, but also the amazing outfits that are happening in-game, folks. These Stellaron Hunter, Kafka, and Blade outfits are available in the Fortnite item shop if you haven't heard already. Players, you'll also be able to obtain a back bling, a pickaxe, and access additional crossover content, including the Lego styles for use in Lego Fortnite. So a lot going on, and I've got to say the skins in game are unbelievable. Those outfits are so detailed. It is insane. By the way, they even sent me my own shard sword, of which you can also get in game here with the Blade outfits. So definitely go check those out. And I also want to remind you too that players, if you purchase eligible items in Honkai Star Rail via the Epic Game Store, make sure that you do it via the Epic Game Store. You can also receive that Stellaron Hunter Blade outfit in Fortnite as a gift with purchase, folks. It's a gift. You get it for free. If you want that outfit in game, go get an eligible item in Honkai Star Rail via that Epic Game Store. Some really cool stuff going on with Fortnite and Honkai Star Rail. And we got to talk about the really cool event as well that we have for today. This is such a unique event for many reasons, not only with our amazing cross-community celebration that we've got with all of our amazing creators that we've already, briefly mentioned. We'll talk a little bit more about later, but also let's talk about this format, Taco, because this is very different from what folks maybe have witnessed in the Fortnite scene or the Honkai Star Rail scene. So I want you to walk me through it, and let's take a look at it. And also, we've got a really cool map I can't wait to talk about.
Yeah, I love the fact that we have this exclusive map that was created specifically for this event. I think it's going to be an awesome time watching everybody kind of explore the different sort of regions that are available, but also the gameplay itself. Obviously, we have our two teams. My team, Team Kafka, we'll get into the details with that later, and your team, Team Blade, but it's going to be basically just a complete deathmatch showdown on the Honkai Royale kind of map access. 4 rounds, 20 minutes per round. Ties will go to overtime, but we're basically going to be looking at seeing who's going to rack up the most eliminations, because it's all about elims in this kind of scenario here, Yosh. We just want to see which team's able to come out ahead, or just see just how many eliminations both sides are able to essentially work together to manage to figure out. But our winner is going to be the team with the most rounds won out of the 4 rounds available. Those will be our champions. We do have tiebreaker features that are going to be broken by the total elimination count, but for the most part, Victory Royales are going to come down exclusively to those eliminations in each round.
Yeah, exactly right. Some really cool stuff here. It is a timed round, so it's just however many eliminations you can get in those 20 minutes, which would be very cool to see. And as a reminder, we are playing on Honkai Royale, which is a custom Fortnite UGC map heavily inspired by Honkai Star Rail's aesthetics, okay? We can't wait to show you this amazing map, and also we will drop that map code on this page as well, so stay tuned for that if you haven't checked it out already. It is public right now. Can't wait for you to experience the world of Honkai Star Rail through the lens of Fortnite. But don't worry, if you're tuning in for your favorite creator or something like that, we've got an amazing creator celebration we've been talking about. But we also have opportunities for you to try to earn some rewards, okay? So it's time for you to go maybe get a chance to earn some of those rewards. Let's head over to amg.gg/giveaway, and you're going to be able to earn some rewards. There's also a QR code on your screen right now. Fun tip. If you're on mobile right now, you can just grab a screenshot of my image of Blade on your screen and this QR code, and then you can click that QR code and it'll open the link for you, or you can head over to amg.gg/giveaway. You just got to fill out a form, enter the giveaway, and you have a shot at earning an RTX 5060 Ti graphics card or a modicum of Amazon gift cards, and all of those winners from this giveaway will be revealed on broadcast. You're going to want to stay tuned towards the end. Maybe you see your name on broadcast towards the end, and you'll be able to get some of these amazing rewards. We got a lot of gift cards to give away and those graphics cards, so go get into the giveaway now. And while you're doing that, we've got to talk about, our amazing teams, because I have a team I'm cheering on. They're already a little bit behind me. There's sneak peek behind me. Team Kafka versus Team Blade. So I go to you, Kafka. I go to you, Taco, to talk about this Kafka team. Break it down for me. We got some crazy creators competing today.
I am very excited to see it because, again, we know that it's all going to be about this collaborative effort between our Honkai Star Rail creators and, of course, our Fortnite lineup. But Clicks, Cypher PK, Typical Gamer, Tuanto, Zyox, Duck, and Mina Aoma. I just cannot believe how exciting it is to think about the way that they're all going to work together. I have to be honest here, Goj. I am very curious to see what the matchups will look like, but I really do look forward to seeing how my team will essentially guide each other through. I can expect teamwork to be at an all-time high here, though.
You have a good team, okay? I'm not going to diss on them yet. I may diss on them later because I am all Team Blade, but we're going to have a lot of fun today, and I think your team is very strong. Obviously, some fantastic creators, top to bottom. You know them, you love them. Whether which community you come from, you've probably heard of most of these names. I've been watching Duck, for instance, for a very long time. Actually, I've casted over him in another event in the past. He's got experience, from what I heard, Taco. He's got experience in both titles, actually, so he could kind of be a sleeper pick for your team and maybe a difference maker. Of course, we know that Clicks and Cypher PK and TG will do fantastic as well, but all of our creators, we're going to watch out for them. So watch out for Team Kafka. But I got to hype up Team Blade, okay? I'm dressed as Blade. I've got my shard sword next to me, and I got to hype up my squad because Team Blade is going to be on top today, I think. Ninja, Courage, Happy Gal, Doro, 44, the Jonathan, Inviosity, and Fobmaster. A fantastic roster of creators as well. Of course, Ninja, the classic, the OG, the original face of Fortnite, if you will, and the Courage JD. Man, he could be in the booth. He could be competing in the competition. Wherever you put him, he's going to have a lot of energy. There's no question about that. And the rest of our creators, I've actually had a chance to speak with most of them in the past with some other events as well. Fantastic creators from the Honkai Star Rail community, and then Happy Gal does a ton of great content in the Fortnite world. So this really cool cross collaboration, and I think a really cool team. I know our vibes are going to be high, Taco. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I would expect nothing less, especially when you think about the fact that Courage alone, I think that he can always be someone who's really fun to rally behind, and I know that he's definitely going to keep everybody's spirits at an all-time high, especially when he's got a good friend in Ninja to work right next to him. I'm sure that they'll do an excellent job helping to also streamline what the right move should be for the rest of Team Blade.
Yeah, look, whether you are extremely experienced in Fortnite or maybe you're extremely experienced in Honkai Star Rail, either way you look at it, you're going to have at least some advantage you can bring to the table. I think it's going to come down to team chemistry today to see if your team's going to be the champion. But speaking of those teams, folks, now that you've got a chance to see some of those creators, it's time for you, yes, you, to vote for your favorite team, okay? I need you to head over to amg.gg/vote. It's down your screen right here. Same deal with the QR code. If you want to make it easy on yourself, scan that QR code, head over to the link, cast your vote for your favorite Stellaron Hunter team for a chance to claim rewards such as more NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5060 Ti graphics cards, folks. Also, Epic Games Store merch. We've got Epic Games gift cards and Amazon gift cards. You can scan that QR code or head straight to the site to enter. All you have to do is just vote for your favorite team. So go do that now, and those results will be posted tomorrow on the website. Stay tuned for that, okay? So go ahead over there right now. Great opportunity to go ahead and get your votes in. We're talking about those creators. We're going to showcase those creators. You're going to hear from some of those creators today. It is going to be a huge celebration with all of our creators. Let me know if you are Team Blade or Team Kafka. I certainly know which team I'm cheering for today, even though I'm just really looking forward to having a great time. But Taco, speaking of a great time, we're about to get into the competition, and I need to kind of give you the floor for a moment, okay? You and I come from different backgrounds. We've got a lot of history in both of these titles in a lot of ways. I need you to talk to me a little bit about the Fortnite seg, okay? We're about to head into this amazing UGC map, which I'll break all down, and we'll talk about the POIs and how cool it is. But talk to me about Fortnite. If you're jumping in, okay, you've got the analyst hat. If you're jumping into this competition, you've got some heavy-hitting Fortnite creators on your team. What's the game plan? It's team deathmatch. It's like a totally different play style. It's zero builds, basically, in this UGC map. What do you got for me?
I think that one of the best parts about it, though, is the fact that it is a zero builds based competition. So I think just about anything goes. You don't necessarily have to depend exclusively on the Fortnite creators. I think this will be a great opportunity for some of our Honkai Star Rail cast to essentially step up to the plate and really showcase their flexibility. I know that they've all got great minds. I mean, Honkai Star Rail in general is a very methodical type of game. So I'm really excited to see how they bring their experiences and that kind of background into the Fortnite environment, and to see whether any of them have even had the opportunity to get some nice practice in on zero builds in the first place. But I think overall the map flexibility is where a lot of these different creators can shine in terms of their team chemistry, because they've all got to work together here, Goj. If they're not working together, I can see even the best teams or the best players having some struggles along the way. You don't want to leave anybody on your side out to dry. You want to really make sure that you're backing each other up, that you're following through with each other's calls. And so it'll be really exciting just to see how they all co-collaborate. I know that with the current loot pool that we'll be able to dive into a little bit further once we actually get into the action, it should make for some really interesting motives for where players
Yeah.
tend to try and pinpoint or focus a lot of their efforts on this map. But In general, I just think that it's great that we have 4 different rounds to work through. I think this first round gonna be a little bit more of like anything goes, but you know how it is with these kinds of cross collaborative efforts. I think that everybody's gonna kind of figure out what they feel best working through and working towards as like one primary goal, and then just seeing whether or not they can keep trying to recreate that same consistency throughout each of these rounds, since it is all eliminations based.
That is a very delicate and very well put way of it is anything goes and who knows what's going to happen. Because I totally agree with you. I think everybody's got an opportunity to make kind of big ways for their teams. With our loop, I'll pull back the curtain a little bit. You've got every type of weapon you want, all right? You want to sit back with a sniper rifle? That's totally within your prerogative, all right? If you want to get up close and personal, little CQB, well within your prerogative as well. The POIs also will dictate that, and really just where the players tend to move towards. Now, to talk a little bit about this map as we're about to get into it. Again, this is a custom Fortnite UGC map heavily inspired by Honkai Star Rail's aesthetics. You'll know exactly what I mean once we jump into it. We've got a bunch of different POIs. Now, the way this works, because it is a timed game, we will play to the 20 minutes every single round of our 4 rounds. Because of that, we do have a moment about 6 or so minutes into the actual map where the zone does actually, Storm pushes people towards the center. It will not ever fully close though, so it's going to be a little bit different than maybe what you're used to. So just keep that in mind as we get into it, and we'll keep explaining it as we go. Feel free to ask questions as well. I believe we've got chat up on the side. This is cross-community collaboration, but it's also with you, the viewer. So we'll be hanging out with you all day today. And I do want to remind you, yes, you, the viewer, that, well, you should go download Honkai Star Rail right now, folks. This is the perfect time to go get involved with Honkai Star Rail. You can dive into the adventures of the Stellaron Hunters, Kafka and Blade, us, and experience the massive 4.0 Plan Arcadia update with the Phantasmoon games, and there is so much more. You saw a quick video there if you got here early for the broadcast, and you'll see that again later. There's a lot going on with Honkai Star Rail. Go download it for free right now in the Epic Game Store. You can also scan that QR code yet again to go get involved, all right? So definitely go check it out if you haven't, and if you're a big Fortnite fan, definitely go check out those outfits in game as well. Now, Taco, as we're about to hop into it, again, this storm moves. It starts to move after 6 minutes, and it will close to basically cut the map. What I could tell was about in half, kind of focusing everybody into the center. So I think the big question is our looting patterns. We got to get our loot, right? And I'm being told on this map, to get loot, you find it in trash cans. Now, hopefully the players know that, or they're going to be flying in and be a little confused on where to find all the loot.
I almost hope that they haven't been told, because I almost think it might be a little bit more fun to see them kind of try and figure things out. Maybe we look at an ultimate pickaxe showdown after all, but
that's right.
It will be cool to see also how they choose to essentially kind of send out, you know, the various items, who's going to be holding onto what weapon, who's going to be holding onto what utility. And I think it'll be really cool because it's, again, just going to force our creators to really work together. And that's what this whole event is just about, Ghosh. Like, sure, we know it's going to be time round. Sure, we know that the scoring is going to be based off of eliminations. But I think the coolest part out of everything is just knowing that this is just a great opportunity to bring the best of both worlds together and just see everybody kind of do their own thing and have fun as a team effort. That's really the intended goal here from everyone across the board. And so they've got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, they definitely do. A collaborative effort indeed. I am very excited that we're going to be paying attention to all of our streams as well, because we're going to hear all of the comms from the players, whether they are aggressive or friendly natured. We're hoping friendly. There will certainly be leaders that come into play very quickly, I'm sure, when we listen into some of the comms, and I'm excited to hear who those are, aka it's going to be Courage. Even if he's not fit for it, it will be him. I can guarantee it on Team Blade.
You don't think Ninja's gonna fight him for that?
I think Ninja may try, but you know Courage. He'll just turn his mic up to 200%, and that's what we'll be here today. But no, it's been really fun. You know, it's funny. I think with Team Blade too, I want to hype up my man Doro44. He is like, I want to say like 5K subs away from his first 1 million subscribers on YouTube. If you haven't heard of maybe some of our Honkai Star Rail creators, you definitely got to go check him out. Doro44 is just moments away from reaching 1 million subs. Fantastic content creator, but also I'll hype up Doro44 because the last tournament I actually commentated over Doro in, he was like the MVP. Absolutely crushed it along with Jonathan, and they're on the same team this time around. Jonathan, another fantastic Honkai Star Rail creator, at almost 700k subs on YouTube on his main channel. So some fantastic creators today, and I think we're gonna see some surprises for folks that maybe haven't seen some of their favorite Honkai Star Rail creators play Fortnite. All of a sudden, they might be popping off, folks. So as much as we want to hype up Courage and Ninja, and of course Clicks, Cypher, you never know who could be a difference maker for their rosters. We're going to be watching all of those streams and make sure that we check in with everybody and see what they're doing, what their play styles are, and how they play together as a team. I do think chemistry is going to be important. Team chemistry can be everything, especially in a mode like this where, well, you need to run in and get as many eliminations as possible, but you don't have to play your life that I'll just say stressfully, right? Like we're used to the battle royale scene. We're used to kind of normal Fortnite BR. This is gonna be totally different. We're gonna be swinging for the fences and moving very, very fast around the map. I can expect.
Yeah, I think that's what's awesome is that it's going to create the opportunity for everybody to be a little bit more flexible in terms of experimentation and try and figure out what's going to work best for them throughout this first round, because they don't have to worry about being eliminated. You can be eliminated as many times as you want, or I should say you maybe try to avoid it just a little bit for your team scoring purposes. But at the same time, I do think that as the zone closes in, it's going to give everybody on both sides prime opportunity to get a little bit up close and personal with each other, even if they are on opposing teams.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, before we jump in, I do believe our game is about to be ready. I do have to show off my shard sword that I was sent. I will be trying to keep this in camera as much as possible. Maybe I'll prop it up behind me as well, because this thing is so sick, and I love our outfits with Team Blade representing literally here in the caster booth. It's not often that I can be outwardly biased, not only with my opinions, but also literally what I'm wearing. I am only cheering for one team. I'm cheering for everybody to have a good time, but I am cheering for Team Blade, and of course, dressed as Kafka over there, you look equally amazing. You just don't have a sword on you, so, you know, I don't know.
I got something, you know, that could be equally as cool. Yeah, it's not a sword, figuratively speaking, but it's still a priority weapon. Okay, we'll get the ball rolling though, because everybody is finally getting their opportunities to drop in for the very first round, opening up scenes here with Clicks, and he is just going every which way. You can already tell things are a little bit chaotic in the comms as they're all trying to figure out, okay, where can we find our first actual weapon? They gotta find their first actual trash can.
I'm stacking.
And it's going to be first strike here. 4 clicks, 2 proximity mines, the dual micro SMGs, and now Cypher PK getting looted. Okay, Gosh, I can see where some of the concern might be coming into play here.
Yeah, they were screaming at each other, where's the loot, where's the loot? And somebody goes, the trash cans! Hey, they figured it out. But it's time to see if they actually engage with each other here shortly. Once we grab the loot, let's push the equation a bit.
I have a revolver, dude.
What do I...
Sniper.
Not having visual audio is so...
Yo, TG, I'm gonna come to you too, okay?
Oh, well,
there you are.
visual audio or not, it's going to be an elimination to start things off pretty early there for Typical Gamer. Probably pretty happy about it. Vengeful Sniper Rifle could definitely make things a little bit more interesting, though, just because you can always play it like a safe distance. I think that might be a nice priority move for some of the Honkai Star Rail creators as they try to get a little bit more familiarized with the rest of the map.
They're on the roof. I'm jumping this guy on the roof.
Oh! Okay, hold on. Relax, Cypher, relax. Golly, through the bush?
Did you see that smile on Cypher's face, by the way, the moment that he realized? Because the thing is that I love the fact that they're all running the same outfit. Obviously, my team has to run the Kafka outfit for their whole squad, but it's just they can't tell who's who. They just have to figure it out with each elimination.
That's exactly right. See Enviosity there go down. Happy Gal is backing up, but alive. That is all that matters. I'm taking a look at our score at the top, and our elimination count right now is, well, trending a little bit towards Team Kafka. Am I concerned? No. Everybody's having a good time. But, yeah, this isn't all that close right now.
I like to look at it as Team Blade is really just trying to lull Team Kafka into a false sense of security.
Right,
Happy gal, you know, she's doing a great job at letting the rest of her team know exactly where the enemies are at. Unfortunately for Doro, he doesn't actually have a chance to escape in that particular instance, but I love the way that Team Kafka, they are just swarming. Everyone is moving together, even though some of them might have a vengeful sniper rifle. They're not wasting any time sitting back and looking for those long shot pickoffs. They're just getting immediately up close, up personal with the action every time.
I'm gonna keep running.
I have 50 bullets. It's the best I can offer.
I'm going to this hotel POI thing. There's zip lines around you can hit as well.
I don't need this.
That's Ninja, come back.
All right, some good comms so far. A little bit of communication here, Team Blade. They're trying to figure out how to work together. I like it. Talking a little bit about the POIs. You can see on our map, again, this is Honkai Star Rail inspired Fortnite UGC map, and I'm loving what we're seeing from the POIs. It's actually a beautiful map, as we do see Team Blade pick up their second elimination of the first round. And they're kind of rotating in and out of this central area. The central zone is inspired by the Fifth World, located kind of in the middle of the map. And there's obviously a lot of verticality in the center, but also a lot of open spaces. So a decent spot for some of these sniper rifles to get into play.
Really close call there for Zyox. He was pretty much on the verge of elimination. That's just going to save his life temporarily. But Clicks immediately going in for the backup, and it's Doro eliminated yet again. Clicks just trying to go over the quickscope on top of the hill front, and now it's going to be a full retreat from Team Blade. And Goj, I can't blame him. I mean, the way that Team Kafka is just continuously just hammering away at Team Blade. The moment that they start getting those reboots off, even, they're just looking for immediate damage, because having to resort to finding all of your loot inside of those trash cans, it has made things a little bit more scarce, a little bit more hard to come by. And unfortunately, Team Blade is just falling victim to the limited resources.
This is good.
Wait, that big pot's good. Okay, yeah, we need that. All right, I'm
If
totally
we have
ready now.
fun, that's all that matters.
Don't lie to yourself.
Thank you, Courage. I appreciate that. This is a good mentality from a team that is a little bit scattered right now, Taka. I'll tell you what, I'm really liking the strategy of your team, Team Kafka. They're playing together very well in a unique format. And I think Team Blade is a little bit scattered. They're spread out all over the place. They're not working together. And they're just being put into 1v multiple situations, which is quite difficult, even if you are very good at Fortnite.
This is great hustle, though, from Courage, drawing a lot of the aggro towards himself, giving the rest of Team Blade a better opportunity to just get those reboots off, maybe find a chance to reconvene as a whole unit, like how Team Kafka is rolling around the map right now. As you can see, though, Clicks doesn't have any healing items. He might find himself getting eliminated here shortly if he's not careful, but he's just got such good long-range weapons to utilize right now. And the rest of the team, too, backing him up the whole way through. I mean, I'm really impressed just at how quickly they've managed to coalesce into one single squadron. And everyone is just kind of trying to find their own eliminations. But good putbacks from Ninja as he's trying to continue racking up some of those eliminations. Just putting Team Blade one step closer to hitting their double-digit section.
He's destroying me. He's about to drop down.
I didn't even see that person. What?
Help! You know how to calm that.
The help call is crazy. I love it. I do believe Ninja had 4 of the now 11 for Team Blade. So leading the charge there likely. Now 5 of the 12. So leading the charge for the team, I could only assume.
Yeah, right here, right here.
Great job from Ninja. And the team starting to somewhat coalesce. We're putting some points on the board.
They're coming on the track point!
Oh, but it just seems like a map has just... Everybody's so scattered from these reboots. And I mean, kind of taking a little bit of a deeper dive into some of these different sections of the actual creative map itself. I love that we have, you know, the Highland ruins that are inspired by Amphorius. It's like a ruin-themed area. It's got a good amount of verticality that's really going to emphasize a lot of the zone control, a little bit more emphasis on positioning too. But I just think a lot of the tactics are really boiling down to which team can manage to stay the most grouped up right now.
Yeah, agreed. Everybody's seemingly trying to fight around the center part of the map with the new zone that you can see on your screen. Again, that zone starts moving 6 minutes in, and it will fully close to the circle that you can now see in the minimap at the top right after about 5 minutes of moving. So just so we're on the same page, it won't get any smaller than that. It's just going to keep everybody kind of compressed in this area. Now, hey, we're closing in on 20 eliminations here for Team Blade. We're doing the thing. There's no limit to the amount of eliminations that Team Kafka could, you know, lead by or win with, but we're just going to play to time. You never know what could happen in the second half of this map.
The real MVPs are the friends that we made along the way. And I like that in every single one of these player cams, I love just knowing everyone does seem to be enjoying themselves on Team Kafka as Cypher finds yet another elimination onto Velocity, just enjoying his time on top of the Ferris wheel here. And there is nowhere safe to hide, but at the same time, can't ever let up your guard because Team Blade, they're looking for their liquor back and they're going to find it. Cypher eliminated. Now it's going to be his turn to try and touch down from that reboot.
I couldn't find one for the life of me either.
Courage is aimbotted.
Courage is aimbotted.
See TG finding an angle of a player trying to get back Team Blade back to the critical mass, most likely. Looks like Courage and Ninja elected to try to take over this building with Jonathan actually playing front man. Entry frag does not connect, but we do get the elimination. Down goes Clicks, and Doro is excited about that one.
Hey, that's a big elimination to pick off. Even though you know he's going to be rebooted momentarily, it still alleviates just that little bit of pressure from the rest of Team Blade, gives them another opportunity to try and reorganize themselves, essentially. So now Zayak's going to take a look towards this Ferris wheel, and I think one of the bigger call-outs for this specific point on the map here, Gosh, is that the Ferris wheel can't be destroyed. Whoever has control of that kind of height, they need to be immediately challenged or eliminated, because otherwise it becomes such a strong, I think, central point of control.
Nice.
4 HP to Dream. Cypher goes down, some good comms, but
No, they're not.
we see now 31 eliminations for my team, Team Blade.
I'm gonna impulse push. Crap.
And I want to remind everybody at home that this is a publicly accessible map, folks. Go check it out. This is Honkai Royale, custom Fortnite UGC map, heavily inspired by Honkai Star Rail's aesthetics. It is a custom map. You can check it out now. The map code is on your screen right now, okay? So go get involved.
Bro.
Yeah, make sure to even invite your friends too. See if you guys can run your own, you know, sort of collaborative efforts and figure out which side could maybe come up with some of the better strategies. Do you think you can maybe out-organize, out-strategize how some of our favorite Fortnite and Honkai Star Rail creators are currently doing right now? Only one way to figure it out, and that's actually hopping onto the map yourself. So definitely make sure to give it a spin with your friends.
Totally agree. And we've only really had a chance to see maybe a POI and a half at this point, so a lot more to explore on this broadcast. But like Taco said, you can explore it yourself. Now, getting back into the action,
I hope so.
I gotta say Team Blade is looking a little bit better. Yes, Ninja may have gone down there, but hey, that's the name of the game. You got to get aggressive here in order to find some eliminations. Now 40 to 65, a little under halfway left.
Another one.
And I think the slow scattering of Team Kafka and also the loot is a big point. I think once some of these players are going down and they're getting eliminated, relooting back up has been actually quite difficult.
They've definitely encountered their fair share of struggles. I think that's why we're starting to see a little bit more emphasis towards actually trying to control some of these rooftops, make sure that you've got that height leverage to actually have that slight advantage. I mean, every little bit counts at this stage. Every single one of these eliminations, though, Duck finding one for himself. My favorite part right now about Zyx's player cam is that you can tell just how locked in he is, because he just keeps getting closer and closer and closer to his monitor. I love when you see just the investment from the player side. He is really trying to be a pop-off person on side of Team Kafka. At least he's looking to pick up where Clix left off since he was recently eliminated. And Ninja, 19 eliminations is very impressive.
Yeah, that is definitely impressive. Something to keep in mind too, they do keep their loot technically, but watch out for those ammo totals. It's been a big conversation between several of our creators as well. If we start getting low on ammo, gonna have to go around and keep looting up, but we'll keep an eye on some of those as we go along. So far so good here for Duck. Well, I say that maybe a hair too soon. Team Kafka still in the lead, but Duck will have to reboot and find his way back into the action.
And don't act like you're not smiling every time you see somebody from my team get eliminated. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't the same way. Cypher taking down Courage one more time. Fresh reboots about to hit that skyline, but with everything getting very cozy now, not many places left for either of these teams to fall back to. They're gonna have to get very involved at close range now. As Cypher looking to just try and play backup Persona one more time. Typical Gamer now taking overhaul on that aggressive front, and it's all down to this train station area and who's going to actually be able to prioritize control of the zipline rails even. It can be very difficult when you have limited mobility.
He's lit. I cracked the guy right under you, Mina.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Oh, that's TG. That's TG. Nice, good trade, good trade.
Oh, got him.
Jonathan, you got that guy right there. He's probably one shot. Cypher! Get sniped!
Should I take
John, I gotta say, we're celebrating when we eliminate some of our, creators that we know, but also comms actually are pretty competitive. I think there's some pretty good, chemistry with this team. Team Blade slowly but surely creeping their way back into the competition, and they're doing so by having some really good comms about who, what, when, where, and how.
I think Team Blade is doing an excellent job. Just on paper, the fact of the matter is they're not trailing by as many eliminations as you think, because remember, it is a frequent reboot series every time you get eliminated. And while 10, 20, 30 eliminations might seem daunting initially, all it takes is just one really good streak. When you can find that level of synergy with each other, I think that's where we're really going to start to see things kind of take off a little bit more here. But Team Blade does seem very comfortable right now with the methods they've been employing.
Yeah, I got you. I don't even have an AR.
Inviosity's taken high ground position, which is good for Team Blade. Maybe a couple other folks could come join them, especially if you do have some of the longer range weapons that are in our loot pool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even know what that grenade is.
He's right around the corner. One shot.
I have no ammo.
All right. I'm worried about you.
On us. 90, one
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Dead.
Oh.
Pushing right now, but back door. On me, it's a sweat, it's a sweat.
There's 5 of them there.
It's typical game
Nice. Great job.
It's the thought that counts, Courage.
Yeah, that's right.
His heart was in the right place for that one. He had the rest of his team also to help back him up. Maybe TG was fully eliminated there after all.
Jonathan is in the thick of it.
Thor looking to try and take matters into his own hands, but he has completely run out of ammo for this Deadeye assault rifle, so there's only so many options left. He's going to have to try and get a little bit more close range here. The rooftop control, though, does seem to be a little bit more in favor of Clix right now, especially because he's got control of this Ferris wheel peak, and he is just trying to terrorize players on the opposing hillsides.
Golly. Down goes Courage. By the way, that's 31 eliminations for Clix. I saw TG on, I think, 27, and I'm sure a couple more have come through. So those two players having taken most of the eliminations for their roster, somewhat as expected, but a nice play over the top. Down goes Clix.
Cypher and Typical are like
A lot of fall damage, unfortunately,
We're doing great.
on that tumble, but could still maybe look to try and turn this one around. Attack AR. Going to be dished out. 4 HP is all that remains, but there's nowhere to stay hidden when Clix is overhead. Zox, though, can't actually get away from this one. And the reboots are freshly out. Ninja gonna look to see how he can get involved now and try and take out some of of from Team Kafka.
Oh my
The hills
goodness.
have been infiltrated. Ninja just immediately wiping out this trio of Team Kafka. That's a really nice cleanup from Ninja.
Yeah.
Clix is
He's definitely played these games before.
I can't do anything about that, Jack.
141.
Okay, really.
Umbrella Ing.
Oh, I don't know if you heard that one, Taco. They were hyping up Duck. They said Duck has definitely played this game before, so good call out at the top of broadcast. Apparently, Duck's been a little bit of a menace on the map.
Tell him.
Duck has definitely spent a good amount of time dabbling inside of the Fortnite streets. That's actually
There he is.
one of the first times that I ever really encountered him.
Who is
Even
on the
was
Ferris wheel
during
again?
Fortnite. So it comes as no real surprise to me that he's got 8 eliminations of his own, and he is continuing to try and pop off here. Even just enjoying the moment, love seeing the camaraderie that's really taking place between everybody from Team Kafka right now. But they're going to need to do something about Dora on top of this Ferris wheel. In fact, Dora might even decide to come down to the rest of Kafka here.
Here's the thing. Honkai Star Rail is turn-based combat, so, you know, it is a little bit different than what we're playing right now. But the map is certainly inspired by the aesthetics from the game. There's also no jump button, aka no fall damage. So I do think we've had a couple folks learn the hard way that there does seem to be fall damage in Fortnite.
How did I not see these people hiding up here?
But better to figure it out in the first round.
That's right.
And maybe keep an eye out for it in rounds 2, 3, and 4. I do like the way that Team Blade has now decided to gather inside of just one of these buildings. There's definitely strength in numbers, especially because you can always look for a pickup on an elimination. Even if one of your teammates goes down, you've always got that opportunity to just hang up on whoever did it and try to see if you can take them out yourselves. Cypher just continuing to roll around the map, but he's got a luxury item in his loadout. I mean, these medkits seem to be very heavily sought after right now.
Yeah, definitely. The amount of healing and kind of utility on the map is actually, comparatively to weapons, is a little bit more rare, I would say. Especially if you don't want to take the time to run around and find some more trash cans. So I totally agree.
With the shotgun.
Having utility is very valuable. But folks, we only got 51 seconds and counting. The gap has maintained. It has not increased, nor has it really decreased. But over 100 eliminations for Team Blade and over 135 for Team Kafka. And it continues as Clix is on a tear with 44 eliminations with the final 30 seconds.
But I think that one thing that is kind of evident right now, Goj, is that this was just like an early lead from Team Kafka. And then Team Blade, they seemed like they really started to figure out, the cogs started turning. Okay, this is what we need to do in order to find our consistency with eliminations as a team. So I'm really excited to see how round 2 actually shapes up, because I don't think that we might not see Kafka be able to pull ahead with so many eliminations right off the jump.
I totally agree. And with the final couple seconds, we'll pay attention to see if anything crazy happens. But no, Cypher PK with a smile on his face says, we'll take round 1. Thank you very much. Hey, maybe Team Kafka didn't need as much time to warm up, but Team Blade, they got warm. And once they got warm, they stayed pretty hot. Overall, both teams getting over triple-digit eliminations in 20 minutes, folks. Like we said, it was going to be hot. It was going to be fast-paced. It was going to be a lot of fun. A lot of action around the center of the map. I'll be very curious here, Taco, if they end up fighting in a different POI in the next round so we can see a bit more of our map. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of the key factors to kind of keep an eye out for, because it was very obvious that everyone immediately just gravitated straight towards that Ferris wheel. They really just wanted to prioritize that point of high control. But through our replay reel, you can see some of the highlight moments that all of our creators managed to find, you know, solid elimination points for themselves, and essentially just contributing to the team factor. I love the fact that we got a little bit of something from everyone.
Courage, turn around.
Yeah, I think everybody picked up eliminations, which is a win. And we definitely saw different play styles, but it was definitely all about the battle of the Ferris wheel in the center of the map, especially with it not being able to be destroyed. It is a huge high ground position, especially if you got some longer range weapons. So something to keep in mind for the next couple rounds if we tend our way back towards the center of the map. Courage showcasing, well, sometimes CQB and shotguns go well as well. And he ends up with, I believe, over 30 eliminations as an individual, but Click showing us the efficacy of having high ground.
Might need to ban the sniper rifle from Clix, though, for future notice. I know that he's on my team, but Clix is already a menace to begin with. The last thing he needs is one of the best weapons in his hands. He is an incredible sniper holder, but Just in general, I think that Team Kafka did an excellent job of really rallying around each other, and I love the fact that we also saw plenty of circumstances from Team Blade where they were definitely putting in a lot of effort to try and really back up Courage, back up Ninja, and just look for their own eliminations anytime that, you know, some of their MVP moments were taken down.
Well, Doro there finding out what happens when you fall from on high here and ends up going down. But he, like you said, probably will learn that lesson for the next couple of rounds. And overall, some really fun highlights here, even in the last 60 seconds. Click showing us why he's one of the best. Some great plays, and the sniper very valuable, and a nice win from Team Kafka. A fun first round. It's not really a warm-up round if it counts, but maybe it was a warm-up round for Team Blade. They can get their hands on a win in round 2 here, Taco. I'm excited to jump into it here very shortly and look at all of our scores as well. Like we said, both teams did score over triple digits in the eliminations department. It's a very simple scoring, folks. It's just about however many eliminations you get. We can count them as 1 point, or you can just say that's the amount of eliminations they get. It's the same number, all right? So easy to follow. We will be playing 4 total rounds, and we'll see which team can secure the most wins through 4 rounds. And if there's a tiebreaker, well, we got some fun stuff planned. But Taco, going back to you here, something else I want you to take a look at. Let's take a look at our scores first of all, and talk me through what you see. We probably know who our MVPs are, but walk me through everybody else. Overall, a team effort.
Yeah, Clicks is going to be a top dog for Team Kafka with those 44 eliminations. Cypher, PK, and Typical Gamer very close behind. But look at the Honkai Star Rail representatives. I mean, Twanto getting into those 13 eliminations, Duck with 10, Ziox 7, and Mina with 3. So we saw contributions from every single member on both sides here, and I think a lot of it is just going to boil down. I want to see Click, Cypher, and TG, for my squad at least, really go all in on trying to see if we can bring Mina into the double-digit area. And same thing for Ziox. I would love to see them both be able to hit double-digit eliminations, and I think it's very possible depending on how the teamwork pans out.
Yeah, and speaking of Team Blade, obviously you see Courage and Ninja over there as our 2 top fraggers. Happy Gal there at 14, and then so on and so forth. Everybody picking up a couple eliminations at the very least, and I think learning something along the way. The learning curve, not incredibly steep, but I do think that the learning that they had in the first round will definitely help them in round 2. Now, not to get too into the weeds, because I want to talk more about this map and more about the collaboration. Something else that I noticed is that some of our top kind of Fortnite players recognize that getting good loot early and keeping that loot throughout the game, because when you reboot, you keep it, is probably very helpful for picking up eliminations. So some of our folks, maybe from the Honkai Star Rail side of things, maybe didn't pick up, your gold rarity weapons. Maybe they just had their grays and their greens, and they were trying to figure out how to be successful with them. So something else that maybe some of our Fortnite creators can talk about is the loot and what weapons to use and how to use them. And I think that could help us out from a team chemistry standpoint as well. Let's take a look at the overall scoreboard, though. As a reminder, for the total scores, nice and easy. We've got Team Kafka with the first win with 140 eliminations, and Team Blade with 106 here, Taco. Still decently close, all things considered, with TDM, especially when you consider that it started out, I think, at the beginning of the game, like 30-3. So it's actually quite close after the first 2 minutes, if you don't kind of count those.
I'm telling you, I think a lot of it was really just the fact of the matter that Team Kafka seemed a little bit quicker to the punch in terms of just assembling all of their loadouts right from the start. It seems like they had a little bit of an easier time gauging what they wanted to actually carry per each player. And I think that they just did a great job with their organizational skills as a whole unit. But for Team Blade, I mean, once they started, we could definitely tell that the effort was 100% there. I mean, even Courage and Ninja, I think they did a great job kind of spearheading, leading the rest of Team Blade throughout that first round. But I would like to see if either side was really able to take note of where some of those trash can spawns are at, because I think memorizing or maybe being able to keep track of where more of the trash cans are located so you can get off to a faster start might lead to some better results, and at least it'll keep the elimination count much closer. But I think both teams did an excellent job in the first round, all things considered.
I totally agree, but folks. We want to hear from you. What'd you think? It's your turn to vote. You still got an opportunity to vote for your favorite team or the team that you want to see be the champion. All you have to do is head over to amg.gg/vote and cast your vote for your favorite Stellaron Hunter team for a chance to claim rewards such as the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5060 Ti graphics cards. You got Epic Games Store merch, Epic Games gift cards, and Amazon gift cards are all a part of this potential prizing pool. So you can go check it out right now. You can scan the QR code on your screen or just head straight to the site, vote, and enter. And again, this will not be open the entire time, so go ahead and get your votes in now. You don't want to wait on this. You want to make sure that your name is entered into the site just by voting for your favorite team or the team that you think is going to be on top maybe in round 2. So go get your votes in right now, okay? Are you Team Blade or are you Team Kafka? Now, Taco, we're about to head into game number 2. We've talked about maybe some of the learnings throughout the last map, but I also want to talk about this map in general. What do you think? I will also actually, before I ask you that question, I will also remind folks, if we can get in there early enough, you'll actually see that our friends are actually going to be loading into the map and flying in on the map on our amazing Astral Express train rather than the traditional battle bus. So maybe if we can catch that early, some crazy stuff happening on this map. It's really, really cool. But Taco, what'd you think of the map at our first look?
I think the initial takeaway was definitely the fact that our teams both were able to kind of assess, hey, hills, Ferris wheel, those are going to be the obvious priorities, but I think also where that zone is going to start closing in, it might cause a little bit of a shift in attention because they might not necessarily be able to remain as center map as what we saw in that first round. It could definitely vary depending on which part of the map that our players are kind of drawn towards, just from knowing that that closure is going to inevitably happen. But I like knowing that each of the different kind of priority POIs on the map are all inspired by Hawkeye Star. I think it's really sick because we're already seeing the collaborative effort in like watching the communities collide between Fortnite and Hawkeye Star Rail creators. So maybe that's where some of the Hawkeye Star Rail players can maybe take a little bit more notice and see if, hey, if I can find some familiarity from knowing this type of area from my game, then I can bring that knowledge into this Fortnite specific map.
Yeah, it's a good call. You were talking a little bit about the Highland Ruins. If you all see the desert area of the map, the desert arena, it's kind of a desert area and then there's an arena in the center. It's inspired actually by the Planet Festivities Penacony. It's a circular open terrain layout. It really kind of encourages a lot of engagement. So if you do see the desert, look out for that. If you've played Honkai Star Rail, you know Penacony has a massive amount of lore around it and a massive amount of our main story. So it'll be fun to see if we do head over to that kind of southwestern side of the map. But we'll keep our eyes out for that. I have a feeling, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there, Taco. I have a feeling we're gonna be playing around that Ferris wheel quite often if our zone allows for it. So maybe we'll see if our next zone pulls us a little bit more to the outside. We get to see a little bit more of the map. But players about to jump into this next round. And we can talk a little bit about the loot pool. I mean, we got a chance to see most of the weaponry on display and some of our utility. Any big notes from you in terms of maybe, you talked about the snipers probably being the most effective in the hands of some of our top players, but any notes on the loot pool in particular?
I think overall, you can probably expect to see Clix just trying to prioritize whatever weapons he thinks is going to be able to net on the most eliminations. I mean, word on the street is he believes he can break 100 eliminations by himself in a singular round here, Goj. And I think it might be feasible depending on how the rest of Team Kafka chooses to rally around him, because you know he's probably making that call out to the rest of the unit. So I'm really excited to see whether or not they can actually bring that plan to fruition. But because we know that this is not an individual effort, it's going to take the whole team working together to actually try and make big plays like that happen.
Yeah, look, if anybody could do it, Clix could do it. I think that's going to be so difficult, though. 100 is crazy, but our game is ready, folks, so let's hop into round number 2. Again, we're playing 4 total on the day, an opportunity for Team Blade to tie it up. I'm ready to hop into the action. And to Clix's credit, yes, you keep your loot. So if you find some really good loot early, you keep your loot. Now the big quandary is ammo. The good news is every elimination you get, ammo drops. So as long as they're not so far away that you can't loot them, definitely something to keep an eye out for. You can get on some really nice streaks and have plenty of utility to keep up those streaks and maybe go for that 100. But we'll tap in and immediately see some of our trash can looting, seeing what we can find.
It's going to be an Enforcer AR to start things off here for Happy Gal. And, you know, you're talking about the ammo, and we saw just how limited ammo can definitely be, especially at some of the later stages of each of these rounds. At least in that first round, it definitely became a pretty big issue for some of our players, and they were basically having to just fight to get a little bit more ammo spread across the map, because you don't want to have to overexert time spent looting inside of these trash cans. You want to be able to just focus specifically on getting as many eliminations as possible. But I do think that Team Kafka seem like they might not have to worry about ammo moving forward, because I am noticing a little bit of a infinite ammo spree getting spread across the board here. So a slight switch up between rounds for both teams. And I'm starting to realize where some of the merit might be in Clix's original statement. But that's also going to put, I think, Courage and Ninja and I think the rest of Team Blade in a much better position, because they're not going to have to prioritize so heavily on just maintaining ammo counts. And now they can just focus exclusively on positioning and tactic play.
There's like 5.
Yeah, I totally agree. You saw a moment there of Jonathan, and you can see Team Blade in general kind of playing around the POI I was actually just talking about. We're down here on the southwestern side of the map playing in the Desert Arena, which is all inspired by Pinacone from Honkai Star Rail. So some fun stuff, but already some early eliminations headed towards Team Kafka.
Tell me this is
But with the infinite ammo being introduced, I know in round 1 there was a lot of priority shifts towards the sniper rifles, the ARs, and now these shotguns can become a little bit more of a threat here, as Clix immediately trying to cut the gap, but he will be put down into the dirt, eliminated by Doro. And that's a tag team effort from Team Blade. If Clix is going to try and move around the map as a one-man team representative for Kafka, he's got to keep an eye out, head on a swivel, because you never know where Team Blade might be lurking. Sadly, Jonathan can't escape here.
Low-key.
Made him around the corner.
Guys, I got an
1v multiple, it's quite difficult, even for somebody like Clix, and especially when the entire team sees Clix go down and then they know, hey, that's the guy we have to target. I mean, if they keep grouping up like that, Team Blade can close this gap and keep moving on their merry way. Ninja not happy about that one, but Clix is able to connect on Ninja very quickly, so he'll be flying back in trying to figure it out. But yes, confirming from everybody now that we are infinite ammo, so this will not be a question and a quandary anymore. It's just going to be the utility side of things that is going to be more limited.
I got him back for you. I got Ninja back for you.
It's also going to make things a little bit more difficult in terms of players being able to hold on to items like the Chug Jug, because obviously Cypher, a little bit of fall damage involved there, trying to see if you can make it up this hill. The impact grenade is not going to be enough just yet. And just like that, he makes me reconsider what I was just talking about, because the Mammoth Pistol connection shot for the elimination, that was just clean work across the board there. Clix. 6 elims is quite a ways from 100, but he does have 16 minutes left to work with. But I really want to make sure to point out, Gosh, look at the elimination counts for both sides so far. We're not seeing those 30 elim, drastic leads from the start. And it looks like Team Blade has realized, hey, maybe it's the element of surprise I should be looking for. Sure, it didn't pan out so well for Jonathan just now, but that doesn't mean that it can't work in a future instance.
I totally agree. I think they're being a lot more careful with their lives early.
I think now it's just back to like a kind of Ferris wheel fight like we just had.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, they're in the bottom right Ferris wheel building, kind of pushing.
Wait. Happy Gal, you want this?
Yes. What?
The SMG.
Who's talking to me?
Some good comms from the team talking about exactly where they want to be. You can see that Ninja is actually fighting against TG and Co. in this snowy urban district that's actually inspired by Urillo 6, which is that blend of kind of snowfields and multi-story buildings that you're noticing there. But they are having to push back towards the central part of the map, which is what Courage was talking about. We're fighting around Ferris wheel.
Yeah, and I love that highlight too from Courage. Yeah, it's always great when you have like a direction that you very clearly want to head. Sadly, the twin hammer shotguns are not going to be able to net him an elimination there, but they know center map, center Ferris wheel control. They all realize it's indestructible, so their best bets are just making sure that they can have high ground control exclusively at their disposal. Clicks. Still rolling around the map. A lot of confidence right now, and he's got a couple other Kafka members kind of lurking alongside him.
Yeah, I'll take one.
But
Cypher's back there.
Thoro seems like he's a little bit more intent on just waiting to see where the rest of Team Blade can actually set themselves up. Got a few members in the buildings, but Clicks is making life real tough right now because he's just forcing these constant reboots.
I hit him for 2 kills, man.
Yeah, can't quite get them. Blade can't quite find themselves all grouped up together. Ninja's still kind of the outside of the rest of his team.
Taking it. If you guys end up dying and coming back, I think just come back over to where. Yeah.
Everybody should just respect the 1v1s. How about that? When it comes to if you've got a mammoth or one of the sniper rifles, you have to respect the 1v1. That's kind of the vibe I was getting from Duck just now. He wasn't backing down. Never backed down, never what?
That's right. That's right. I love the call out. Respect the 1v1s. I'm going to have to post that in the Discord for the players. Respect the 1v1s is the new rule of the map. I'm so here for it. Happy Gal does pick up the elimination on Duck. It gets traded out from distance from, I think it's Zyox actually.
Just a little unfortunate for her that the bush coverage she was utilizing got destroyed, finding that elimination onto Duck. But Courage, mayhem on the Ferris wheel right now. And TG, he is just scurrying to try and get down. He knows that he is no longer safe. Courage is just trying to beam him. And that's the beauty of Zeros right there, Goes. You can't necessarily find any safety net whenever you are exposed in the open like that, trying to traverse across any kind of space. You've got to keep an eye out for who might be looking to take you down. And Courage seems like he's starting to get a little bit of steam behind him. Just needs to find his rhythm. That's all I think it really comes down to. And it does seem like Team Blade, they kind of stemmed the bleeding a little bit here. 4 elimination counts, only trailing by 13 now.
I'm actually stuck between a rock. I'm actually in a rock.
Yeah, between rock and a hard place, aka the wide open space around you. There's nowhere else to go. Duck, unfortunately, can't make it out.
I got 2
and he's saying that he's going to change up his strategies. Needs to, with only 0 eliminations to start this thing off. Can't quite get the first elim to hopefully get the ball rolling for him. But as the map continues to close in on this central position, I'm sure we're going to see a lot more engagements now. Still about an even spread of only 14 or so eliminations between the two teams. Looks kind of setting up on the outside of the zone. Looking for anybody out in the open.
Big clicks. I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, sorry.
Thanks, bro. I'll do green.
Clicks in. Typical gamers seem like they're really working together to kind of provide, you know, natural cover fire for the other. Clicks also, I think that position that he was utilizing, he was doing a great job at funneling the rest of Team Blade. He was kind of forcing them to rotate, you know, a different direction in comparison to the routes they seemed like they were initially intending to go for. But
Dead.
This is a good spread from Team Kafka, at least. It might be ruined, though, with Ninja in the mix here. 2 eliminations back-to-back, though. He's making his presence known.
How many? Oh. He pumped me.
My friend.
I'm doomed. I'm doomed.
I whiffed.
Oh, you say that as I land on you? No,
I'm doomed.
I promise. No, we turned the tide.
It sounds like team's getting a bit scattered now. Team Blade finding some success.
There's 4 of us,
Team Kafka was trying to kind of all land together and play together. And pretty even trades across the board over the last 10 or so eliminations. Cypher PK putting on a bit of a show there. It's shotgun and does... Oh, we can't find the second one, actually. Happy Gal does get the trade. And it is utter chaos around the ruins.
It's all about who's going to be able to touch down first to provide backup for the rest of their team. That's where the collaborative effort comes into play now. Courage nearly found that exchange in his favor, but it's still going to be cleaned up there for Team Blade. So promising effort, I think, in general here goes.
I'm pushing him right now.
They're high ground. Remember, it's really hard.
Yeah, definitely a promising effort. And you called out this POI from before. This is the Highland Ruins, inspired by Morpheus, this kind of ruin-themed area. There's a lot of verticality and tactical positioning that can matter, as you can tell, within these ruins. But a lot of CQB as well when you're playing inside of each building. So I want to remind everybody, this map, like we've talked about, is all Honkai Star Rail themed, this Fortnite UGC map. And I want you to go check out Honkai Star Rail now, folks. Go download it. It's free to play. You can get it on the Epic Games Store. You can use that QR code to go download it. This map is beautiful, and this is just a kind of theme, an homage, if you will, to how beautiful Honkai Star Rail is. A fantastic game you need to go check out with their massive 4.0 Plan Arcadia update. Okay, so go check it out. They're constantly dropping updates, ton of new content. The story and lore is immense. If you haven't checked it out, you certainly should. It is a game for everybody. So go check it out now. But back into the action, about a 20 elimination spread here, Taco.
They want me.
There's like 3 of them, dude.
Is there anything more terrifying than knowing that you're the current target? And Courage cannot believe that he lost that exchange. But sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. Multiple shots coming in from so many different directions here. Just look at these multiple line of sights that Clicks and other members from Team Kafka are making sure to work together. Just constantly beaming different members of Team Blade. And now the zone continuing to kind of force everybody into the same Highland Ruins area. That is going to make things a little bit more complicated for each reboot because they're just having a difficult time touching down. They're not able to really regroup just yet as Clicks just continues battering away towards any Team Blade members located at these housing structures a little bit further away from him. Finally, he will be punished for over-peaking.
I'm gonna wait.
The moment they start to come back over this way, we can start piecing them apart. Like maybe right here, for instance,
One
right here on
swinging
the
right.
rail, on the grind rail, 44.
22
Minus door. I'm stuck inside the Ferris wheel.
Right here, 111.
That's 2.
Nice.
Great comms, great chemistry here from Team Blade, and unfortunately Ninja just overpeaks for a moment. But I'm really liking the comms from Happy Gal. Very clean, very calm, telling the team exactly what's going on and how to execute the game plan. Slowly losing ground in our score category, in the elimination category right now. Clicks is on 31, so 100 may be a bit out of reach, but he is on a bit of a tear. Could maybe outperform his first map total elimination tally.
Still pretty impressive that he's about 30% of the way there, though, as he finds another elimination onto Ninja. That one's got to sting just a little bit. But Clicks, he doesn't have control of this Ferris wheel right now. It's actually going to be Team Blade who has a little bit more of that favoritism for the positioning. And if they can maintain this high ground control, they could definitely try and make some big plays happen here. Team Kafka, they are just falling like flies inside of the buildings. Team Blade now making sure to work in unison to kind of clear everybody out. I think they recognize the fact here goes that if they can consistently string together these eliminations, it's going to put Clicks into a really awkward position. It's going to put Cypher in, typical gamer, in areas where they're not going to necessarily be able to back up the rest of Team Kafka. But Zyox will fend for himself here and get the pop-off with it.
My keyboard doesn't work.
They just jumped Clicks.
I think he may have just broke his keyboard because he just killed, eliminated Ninja in this round. That was crazy. I'm so here for it.
I love seeing those types of moments, though. On the other end of the spectrum, though, it doesn't necessarily always go elimination in your favor, but that's why you have a whole team to work together with.
We had such a good strat to
Ninja will
Luke,
find
and it just
solid
gave us,
sniper elimination there on typical gamer, trying to see who else he can take down from Team Kafka. He wants to prevent Doro from getting ganged up on, but it's not going to be enough just yet. Cypher PK now leading the charge here alongside Clicks, and Team Kafka, they've definitely gotten the memo. Stick together. And the open space is a lot less exposing.
I like it. I like it.
Where are they?
Up there where Courage is at. He's 1v.
Nice double from Courage. Unfortunately, the third was up high. I will say, obviously, a power position here for Team Kafka. When you've got a lead like this, it did seem like Team Blade was going to try to hang out around the Ferris wheel and kind of force the opponent to come to them. But Team Kafka doesn't have to move. I mean, they can send clicks to try to 1v multiple, but he's going to win that trade every time. He's getting 2, 3, and then going down. And so it's actually forcing Team Blade into an awkward position where they have to kind of push this ruin and continue to play into the power play that Team Kafka has. Courage from distance, though, finding a bit of value.
Love that from Courage, though, with the twin hammer shot. He's going to put clicks down, stop clicks from getting that power position. But sadly, clicks off the reboot will make sure to immediately land on the Ferris wheel. He definitely wants that high ground control. Ninja doing a nice job, though. Look at the movement. Pretty swifty, and sadly, the numbers were not in his favor. 1 versus 3 hardly ever tends to go your way. And now Team Blade staring up into the void that is the top of this Ferris wheel. They know that they're going to need to take out clicks or whoever else might be up there with them if they want to be able to start moving freely around this map.
That's down.
Yeah, Inviosity was trying to get active by just kind of flying in and seeing what would happen. And unfortunately, it's just not good enough against player of clicks in typical gamers categories. But unfortunately, with typical gamer up on high, clicks is down low, and Team Blade is a bit getting pieced up right now. Finding a bit of action here back inside the ruins, maybe actually trading POIs a little bit. Team Kafka moving back towards the Ferris wheel, whereas Team Blade is out here on the ruins trying to hunt down these eliminations to try to slowly creep towards a more even scoreline. But right now, it is about the same spread we saw in the first round with about 3.5 minutes left.
It makes sense, though, from Team Blade, because they're at least going to be a little bit more obscured from that Ferris wheel position by just playing a little bit more towards the dipping inside or the lower crevice side of each of these Highland ruins. Typical gamer, though, with a triple elimination onto Enviosity. He's still trying to see just how many of them he can string together. Doro gonna look to try and just pepper in some damage here. Clean elimination to start things off, but he will be picked off once he tries to find another.
Shotgun better than Gray, and no mammoth pistols anywhere. Literally one each chest.
Ninja, I got a loot delivery.
Jonathan giving us a physical reenactment of what happens when Click swings up on you and finds an elimination. Great vibes, Jonathan. Let's see what we can do with the final 2.5 minutes.
He jumped in front of me.
You know, a little bit of the problem does seem to be stemming from some of the trash can RNG there. At least that's something that Ninja was seemingly suffering from, but that's where I think a lot of the team identity can really come into play. You know, maybe someone that might feel a little bit less comfortable if they are able to find a higher rarity shotgun or weapon in general, maybe toss that into the hands of Ninja, just try and see if he can go a little bit buck wild with a slightly better loadout.
I don't know, the Ferris wheel will trade.
It's definitely something we were talking about at the top
and then see
of
how
this
he does
round, of making sure that you kind of set up your key players for success. At the same time, trying to have a good time here, and Clicks goes down. I do believe, from what I saw on that in-game leaderboard, with about 2 minutes left, he was around 49. He might have breached 50 there. Aside from PK, does connect quite well over the top on Doro. We are now fully enclosed in this circle. It's still been this same circle the entire time, a part of the central part of our zone. He's kind of wide out in the open, but you've got our 2 POIs on the outside. It's been a kind of trading of blows around the Highland ruins and then around the central zone. That's what it's called, which is inspired by that 5th world from Honkai Star Rail. So back and forth they've been trading, and I think overall the trades have been going towards Kafka, at least slowly but surely increasing their value.
230 on him! No!
Courage. I feel for you, Courage. It looks tough, but I still love to see the way that Team Blade is continuing to try and rally around each other. Same case scenario, though, for Team Kafka. Also wonder what Duck's vision is like with those Kafka glasses on. I actually have my own pair. I unfortunately had it a little bit too tinted out. You know, it was a little bit too much drip for the broadcast, I felt like. Right. So that is the primary reason why I'm not actually sporting mine just yet. But I think that for Duck, they seem to definitely be powering him up.
Yeah, I think he was thinking about the same, though. He couldn't really see, missed a couple shots, blamed it on the glasses, and then rebooted for the last 10 seconds or so. Clicks, by the way, on 55, as we do see TG pick up his final elimination, and Team Kafka will win again. Does look like Clicks ended with 55, so certainly the top slayer in round number 2 as well, as expected to some degree. But again, about an even spread from the last round. Not a bad game from Team Blade. It felt like once they lost the lead, though, they couldn't quite close the gap because Team Kafka had the power position. They kind of were like, hey, come to us. But then they got kind of splintered on those rotations. Couldn't quite make a full team effort and team push to find any success or string enough eliminations together to close the gap.
Yeah, and it can be really tough because I think that Team Kafka was just doing a great job at controlling the airspace. Every time a member from Team Blade was starting their reboot process, trying to see if they could touch down anywhere on the map, I think that there were a handful of ground units basically being sent out from Team Kafka that would kind of work as like a little bit of a suffocation point. They were really just smothering Team Blade on the low ground, and then you have to worry about players like Clicks, like Cypher, and Typical Gamer taking high ground control points. They did a great job kind of distributing different responsibilities amongst themselves.
Yeah, I totally agree. As we take a look back on some of the replays from that map, this is what I was talking about. We're already, 6 minutes into the game, and we've been playing around this Highland Ruins area and our Ferris wheel area for most of the map. We did start with some couple early engagements up on the Yolaro 6 inspired Snowy Urban District, but everybody moved to kind of the southwestern side of the map. And in transition, this is where we started to see the elimination gap increase by a sizable margin. We saw some decent plays here from Ninja and some solid plays from Courage over the top, but just couldn't quite find those 1v multiples that Team Kafka was able to get, especially on the back of Clicks and TG. But still some highlights from everybody. We saw eliminations come through for everybody yet again. You see Mina there finding a nice high ground position and playing the trades with her team. You see Duck there finding eliminations, glasses off, glasses on. He was doing it both ways in this map. And then Courage really trying to rock the double shotties and couldn't quite connect on a couple times. And he made sure that everybody heard about it.
Maybe since you are the Blade representative, you maybe get a little bit of a mail-out process. See if you can ship off your Stellaron sword. See if anybody from Team Blade might be able to get a little bit of an advantage off of that. Look good, feel good, play good. After all,
that's right.
I think that's always an important motto. I mean, love the fact again that we are watching everybody kind of sporting either Team Kafka or the Team Blade outfits, and knowing that players have the option to even have these outfits for themselves.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's funny because we look good because we're in the outfits, but they look great in game too. I mean, this is what I was talking about. These outfits are so detailed. You've got everything that you want to look exactly like these characters in Honkai Star Rail here in Fortnite. So definitely make sure you check those out. Because we're able to see them on every single player. But Team Kafka in our replays showcase why they were the best. They were able to win out in most of the engagements in 1v multiple situations, and just as a team overall executed the game plan very, very well. So a nice success story there for round 2 for them. But this competition's only halfway done, Taco. We still got 2 more rounds.
Yeah, halfway done, and we still need to see Clicks hit that 100 elimination margin. I mean, if you're gonna set the goal and do it so confidently, I want to see him deliver. I do think that Clicks is definitely the caliber of player to possibly deliver on it, but I really want to see the rest of Team Kafka potentially try and unite with him on that endeavor. It's not going to be an easy feat by any means, but I am excited to see whether or not he can actually bring that into fruition.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think he was around 55, if I remember that correctly. So we'll see what he could do in the next couple of rounds. But we're going to double check all of those scores when we come back from a very short break, folks. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with 2 more rounds. We'll see if Team Blade can pull out a couple wins to even the tide at the end of our 4. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a moment.
What does it mean to become an Eon for a minute?
Are you here to join the Fantasy Moon Games?
The master rule. And who gets to define elation? Astral Rift has arrived. Welcome. This is the real Flame Arcadia. The paradise woven from elation and wild imagination.
After 15 years, now that the Fantasy Moon of Elation is full again, the Fantasy Moon Games will begin as scheduled. The game where the winner becomes an Eon.
To all of you watching, you reckon I'll win? Who else dares doubt Sparksy?
You will take flight! Sparksy blazes bright!
Come and party till the end of the world!
This Arcadian world faces an extraordinary danger. Who are you? The Seer Strategist, General Yalguang. I see where the culprit is. There are signs the Fantasy Moon Games are spiraling out of control again. 8 masks, 8 supplicants. Come closer.
The Herald of Death is back.
Fantasy Moon Games must not fall into the IPC's hands.
Serious Xianzhou criminals attempting to join the Fantasy Moon Games.
The odds all arrive. I'll hereby declare the first battle of the Fantasy Moon Supplicants has commenced.
Warning. Inter-astral threat level monitoring shows abnormal fluctuations.
Did you find the source?
Warning.
I'm locking on now. It's the Stellaron Hunters.
What? Tell Pearl the situation has changed. Punk Lord's esteemed wolf is back.
Nice. Great job, great job.
They're all in the castle.
If we move as a unit.
10 on 3. All one clan is in the flame there. It's okay. I'll use
There's another 20 per fight. There's another 20 per fight.
Alright, 1 minute left. Oh my god.
72 on that guy up.
Very nice.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Nice.
Alright,
here's close.
Wait, is he resting from the sky?
Never mind, I don't got him.
They're on the roof.
I'm jumping this guy on the roof.
Oh,
It's gonna be
courage!
easy.
I'm taking the flank.
Oh, first, on the left, on the left.
Oh, I see him! I'm flanking him!
I got courage.
Lanier's gonna take it all out on us.
Ow, ow, ow. Courage, courage, turn around, courage, courage.
Someone get his point of view.
I want to see every time my code is.
Sniper, I can give you one.
I need.
White. He said.
I killed Clint!
Kill one! Yay!
Bring it back.
Dead!
Nice.
So if it's alright with you guys, I'm just gonna hide and knock them out.
Cypher PK dead. Oh, I landed.
I think it's still the best vantage point.
One guy's riding the rails.
I'm coming down.
Dead. Thank you.
No, he's done. He's done. That's the timer.
Wait.
Oh my gosh.
I
it's
believe in
clicks on
you.
the-
Welcome back, folks, to the Astral Rift Rumble. Team Kafka versus Team Blade. It has been a blast with this amazing cross-community celebration between Fortnite and Honkai Star Rail, folks. I have to remind you before we jump back into the action, we are halfway through this competition, but I've got to remind you to download Honkai Star Rail right now. It is time to dive into the adventures of the Stellaron Hunters, Kafka and Blade. We've dressed as Blade right now, and Taco's dressed as Kafka because we are so excited to experience this massive 4.0 Plan Arcadia update with the Phantasmoon games and so much more content, folks. There is a ton going on with 4.0, so go check it out right now. Get it for free in the Epic Games Store. You can scan the QR code or just head over to the Epic Games Store to get the game for free and check it out. But as we get back into our competition, I need to bring back in the best Taco, my second half in this competition, my Kafka to my Blade, because, well, your team is doing fantastic. On the back of clicks, they are crushing it. They are up 2-0 right now in this competition. So walk me through the leaderboard and take a look at our individual score lines and the individual eliminations that each of our players were able to get.
It's not exactly a secret. Clicks was able to find a good chunk of eliminations in that secondary round. 55, really leading the charge there for Team Kafka. But I do think a big part of why Clicks was able to be so enabled with that many eliminations is because of the way that we saw Team Kafka working together. I think that they did a great job at just having like these mini, you know, squads that they would just send out, look for eliminations, and it was constantly 1v3 scenarios that I think Team Blade was having to deal with. So they were getting a little bit overwhelmed on that front. But again, I just really love the fact that Team Kafka very clearly came up with a coordinated like strategy, and they just followed it through for the entirety of round 2. But that's not to say that Team Blade couldn't still look to play catch up. I mean, it seems like everyone is really just making steady improvements with each of these rounds.
Yeah, I totally agree. By the way, big shout out to Toronto there with 21 eliminations. Huge jump up. So talk about a nice improvement already from some of our Honkai Star Rail creators. But so we take a look at our leaderboard. It is 2-0 overall in our 4-round series. So now the best that Team Blade could do is tie it up, but it is certainly still possible. You can see the total eliminations there, 289 there for Team Kafka and 221 for Team Blade. However, I am getting word from our admin team and the production side of things that I'm getting word that Clicks as the top player, this is something that we have instated after kind of our halftime we just had, that the top player, the player with the most eliminations combined between the first 2 rounds, which is of course Clicks, will have a small nerf going into the second half of the competition. Clicks can only use shotguns and snipers. Now, does he use snipers quite well? 100%. But he doesn't have anything in the mid-range category, so it does limit him on the types of engagements he can take. In theory, we'll see how much that actually plays into the effect of maybe giving Team Blade a huge advantage, or maybe it's just a very small one. If they know it, which I believe they do, I go to you, the best Taco. Maybe if they see Clicks, they know they need to take an engagement somewhere in the mid-range. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
They're definitely going to be able to recognize the fact that, hey, there's this one person on Team Kafka that is only rolling around the map with either a shotgun or a vengeful sniper rifle. So obviously, I think there's like no real way to sugarcoat it. Team Kafka is going to have to definitely pick up the pace a little bit if they want to get off to that early lead, because it is going to limit Clix's fragging potential overall, especially when you've got the likes of Ninja and Courage, who are definitely going to be hounding after him in this lobby. You can just tell they want their revenge, okay? They are looking to see if they can strike through and find a round win as a team here for Team Blade.
Not me, not Hermione, you.
I found a mammoth.
Vibes seem to be high, and I gotta say, I think the beginning of this game, as expected, as the beginning of most games here with Fortnite, but even in a non-BR format, is about looting. You have to find the loot that you want to play with, and everybody wants something a little bit different. They now understand the loot pool, they understand where to get said loot, and we start with our very first elimination, and guess what? The best taco, Team Blade, has officially taken the lead for the first time in this competition. It is 1-0 in the elimination category.
Every point counts, and it looks like they're just going to keep that momentum rolling, because Courage finding the second elimination. You have to remember that Team Kafka, they're really going to have to, I think, reassess how they want to put their focal points on the map here. Seems like Zyx is in a little bit of a pickle inside of the building. Can't actually get out. Will be eliminated and forcibly removed from the structure instead. As now Ninja with the wraparound. He's got another member. It's Quanto that he's looking to shut down, and he will be successful in that matchup. A 5-0 lead already for Team Blade. Gosh, they seem like they've really got things figured out, and they know that Clix, he's going to have his work cut out for him if he wants to try and be a ringer here for Team Kafka.
Guys, open the door. Open the door.
Yo, Joe, thank you.
Finally, we get an elimination for Team Kafka, but I totally agree. Things are changing, and I don't know if it's just the idea of the nerf to Clix or the actual nerf to Clix that has slowed things down for Team Kafka. But snipers in hand, it does look like Clix has found what he needs to actually engage into some fights and look for his first couple eliminations. He does seem to already have one. And something that maybe he needs to talk to his team about is making sure that they give him the best shotguns and snipers that they can. Ninja does go down, though, as he does have the dual shotguns and finds multiple with the help of some teammates. Happy Gal also going down. And it looks like our zone is pulling back to the center of the map as expected. This central zone, which is inspired by Fifth World in the Honkai Star Rail universe. Been playing around this Ferris wheel quite a bit.
Ooh, hearing the call-outs there for Team Blade, though, they're really just trying to coordinate their efforts and make sure that everybody actually has the weapons that they need to keep the fight rolling, because Team Kafka is trying to see if they can get control of these rooftops now.
On elimination.
And Cypher looks like he wants to really drag out this elimination here. Duck from a distance, gonna back him up, but Duck doesn't realize he's got somebody right behind him snuck up on at the last second there, so he will be eliminated. Just waiting to see which team actually tries to take over this Ferris wheel control first.
I'm dropping it right here.
Okay, hang on. I have a...
Looks like maybe Team Blade is playing around the south side, and then all move up together after they maybe trade some loot back and forth. Not a bad strategy. They don't want to give eliminations away early. They had a nice lead. That lead has elapsed, but it's pretty even between the two teams. Play slow for a moment.
Mammoth Pistol Blue.
Cool.
Mammoth Pistol's pretty good. Where's that?
Ninja doing a great job here, just taking chunks out of Team Kafka members' shields. That's definitely going to put a damper on how quickly they're going to be able to actually try and close in eliminations there. It's an elimination from Ninja onto Clix. You can't be rolling around doing whatever you want, not with Team Blade. Now revitalized here, and they're doing an excellent job at staying closely knit together. It seems like that switch up of just gathering everybody in one place first before actually moving out is definitely boded pretty well for them so far.
They're on top. Sniper.
Ninja, it's your favorite gun.
That's not my gun. Bob, on you though?
Is it too soon?
It is very soon. I'm gonna try to headshot this person.
for 100.
I love Happy Cow. Can I just say that? The way she trolls her own teammates is the funniest thing. Ninja is so locked in, and Happy Cow is living up to her true namesake. She is so happy to be here and crushing it. I love that interaction so much.
Ruh-roh. Mina can't get away from courage. And Team Blade.
There's 3 people.
Again, just look at the way that everyone is kind of making sure that they've got at least one other member with Team Blade next to them. They're refusing to not operate in pairs or in anything less than pairs, I should say, as it's going to put a lot of strain, I think, onto Clicks, because he's been having a lot of fun rolling around as a one-man unit, but you have to remember it's a team effort for a reason, and now Team Kafka going to be there to back him up. Cypher PK helping out Clicks find some more eliminations. Zayak's also looking to get involved here, and you even made a great call out from the leaderboard in that last round 2 and Tuanto. I think 21 eliminations was definitely a very impressive pace pickup.
Oh!
Right there. CJ, it's CJ.
Yeah,
So
he's keeping a chug jug on him at all times.
They said there was a
We're down by 3 right
trash can
now.
over here. Do you see it? Where?
This team is starting to get a little sweaty. Paying attention to the scoreline, playing slow, measured. Definitely a different playstyle than the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, on the hill.
I'm going to try to find their first round win as soon as possible. You see Mina there, sniper in hand as well, trying to back up their team.
Oh, he's dead.
Velocity, able to pick up one on Duck. They trade him out, though.
Gold chest, guys. I found it.
Where they at? Where they at?
See that?
Ferris wheel. Ferris.
Okay.
Push up a little bit.
Had it.
Damn.
You can just tell, though, the moment that one player is eliminated from either side, everyone just seems like they go on a full fallback retreat. It's like both teams have kind of recognized the fact that, hey, reboots are one of the easiest ways to get picked off, like, consistently and repetitively. So if we are all making sure to stay tightly grouped, it's going to make that a lot more complicated for the opposing side to continue trying to punish them in that front.
Oh yeah, this is bad.
Really far away. 186. 173. Come on.
There's one at Castle.
Where you at?
Yeah, I'm going back with you, Jake.
Good grief. All right.
No.
The quote-unquote nerf to Clicks, showcasing why he's one of the best in the competition. My goodness, that triple was disgusting. And he didn't even utter a single word about it. He is methodically working his way through this team and slowly starting to pull away in the scoreline as well.
Oh my gosh.
You want to talk about a lock-in. His eyes were just laser focused in that instance. You know he's always going to be looking for the clip, and especially if he can secure it with the rest of Team Kafka, that's even, you know, it's just the icing on top, really. But typical gamer, rooftop overhead. Good call-outs, though. Again, just love the fact that everybody on both sides has really made some serious efforts to just make sure that they are moving around in like mini squads as a team. It's just making it all the more difficult for either side to be punished as heavily on these reboots.
I got you. That guy right side, right. One shot. Look at that.
I'm here for 89.
One shot on the other guy on the roof. On the roof.
A little bit frustrated maybe that he wasn't able to pick up the elimination there, but some teamwork there as Ninja does go down. Typical Gamer has found a high ground position and is getting paid dividends for it. We're seeing a pretty far spread here on the scoreline. The elimination category heavily in favor of Team Kafka now. If they've strung, it's got to be almost 8 nearly unanswered eliminations in a row. I am loving what I'm seeing now from all of our players. Everybody getting better and better the deeper we get into this competition. And the room for error, the margin for error for some of our players kind of playing by themselves is also growing thinner and thinner. It is a team-based competition right now, and both teams feeling the heat.
75 right here in the grass. 1 HP.
Oh my gosh.
He's in the bush.
Dude, I'm dead. I got 3 tapped. I mean, bro.
Typical Gamers on the Ruin.
Actually insane.
Yeah, Ruin's typical.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. No, this is so great. Ninja, I don't know if I can help you, but I'm here. I'm behind you.
Actually, I can't see him because of the right peak in this game.
30.
Can't shoulder swap.
96. 1 HP. Dang.
Ooh, I really thought for a moment that they were going to be able to turn that one completely in their favor. But I think that it's definitely smart what both ends are doing. You've got kind of like the front runner. It seems like Ninja and Courage have really taken a good role for Team Blade, where they're trying to just put down tons of markers. They're like, hey, we're going to go on the aggressive front. We need everybody else to kind of just focus shots towards these markers that we are regularly pinging for. And Ninja seems like he's able to get a little bit of damage off.
They're landing on the roof for you, Ninja.
Almost has the shield crack there, but he's got to close in that mammoth pistol. Courage, though, will unfortunately be removed from the top of the Ferris wheel control.
Sorry, Ferris wheel, ultimate height.
Okay.
I hit him pretty hard.
I'm dead.
About a 20 elimination spread right now. Ducks on a couple, Inviosity on a couple.
I killed him.
Trying to rip down. It does look like Happy Gal is actually able to take down Click, so we might have removed our high ground mans on top of the Ferris wheel. Definitely a very valuable point of the map to cover. It just gives you so much map control around the center of this zone, especially into the latter half of the map. We only have about 8.5 minutes left.
I'm actually going to land on the hill. I'm landing on the hill. I'm landing on the hill. I'm landing on the hill.
Our death is among us.
Oh my god, oh my god.
Get back in the boat.
Oh no. It is an all-out war right now on these snowy hillsides. And sadly, Team Blade seems like they've been wiped out. But they might be able to strike back here. Typical Gamer taken off from the rooftop, and now that's going to create a small opening for Team Blade to get back control of at least the secondary height. I mean, you heard the call out from Courage, ultimate height being the Ferris wheel. I think the secondary height can definitely be assigned to these rooftop structures.
Definitely. High ground position. Been a huge value add for Team Kafka, and they're slowly but surely losing ground.
From the ruins we fought out in game 2.
Ah! Right here, 90. Oh my, one shot in that bush.
Who's this? Hit once, hit twice.
Dead.
Maybe one shot was a lie, but
There's another coming up. There's another coming up, Courage.
Because they
The most common lie in gaming. They are one shot. Well, maybe not quite.
Some of my favorite callouts, though, where you start making up the damage numbers you're doing.
That's right.
You're just like 100, and it's really like 30 in Fortnite terms. But you never know sometimes. I think that Team Blade certainly has the right idea, though, in the sense that they are just looking to try and control as much of the high ground positions as they can manage to scramble towards. Sadly, though,
that guy's won.
Standing still can be your greatest nemesis in the zero builds area. Cypher PK trying to see if he can punish anybody else, but Team Kafka, a little bit of pushback here from Team Blade as they are trying to see if they can re-establish Ruin's control.
After this,
you on your building?
Yeah, we're back to kind of the same game plan from before based on this zone. Now Team Kafka can kind of play together inside of the Highland Ruins on this top side of the hill and force the engagements in a position that they have a better position of. It gives them a big advantage in some of these fights. You can hear some of the teams talking about it in the comments behind us. It's kind of like, hold, wait for me, wait for me. You have to play with your team.
2 dead. Cypher and Typical are going to be in the air. Can you guys farm them?
City's roof again, 79 on 1. 130.
You land on that one, I'm going to land on the hill. I'll shoot him. Keep straight.
It's almost like watching an ant colony at work, you know? It's like the moment that one person is ringed out, everybody else just seems to try and make that player the focal point. Great effort, though.
That's not good.
I'll remind everybody, with about 6 minutes left and the action picking up in the fight on Ruins, you can check out this map as well. Go check out Honkai Royale in Fortnite right now. Map code is on your screen. Head to Discovery, type in the map code, invite your friends. Go check it out and maybe just emulate the same competition with your friends, especially once you pick up your outfits of Blade and Kafka, our two Stellaron hunters here from Honkai Star Rail. So go check out the map now. Again, it's Honkai Royale. Use that map code that you see on your screen right now. It has been a lot of fun to watch thus far and certainly worth checking out yourself.
Yeah, be so honest, chat. We know that you guys love trying to gauge. Would I have a similar performance? Would I maybe have a better performance than some of my favorite creators from both the Hawkeye Star Rail and Fortnite communities? Only one way to find out, and that's if you jump into the action yourself directly and see whether or not you can replicate some of the highs and lows that are taking place. Obviously, you want to lean a little bit more towards the highs direction, but Team Kafka getting back into, you know, what's been taking place on our screens at least, Goj.
Something, yeah.
Ferris wheel continues to be the real star of this Hawkeye Royale map.
Yeah, it's such an interesting place in this POI, especially in this game mode too, because once people are rebooting, they're just able to fly back in and chow you up there. So if you can actually maintain a power position, and you, weirdly enough, need a CQB weapon, either shotty or an SMG, double shotty, to kind of hold that position while also having a long-range weapon, that's kind of the best combo from what we've seen for holding down the Ferris wheel and getting a ton of value. So it looks like still about the same spread in eliminations. It's actually been pretty even for the last 5 minutes or so of this match.
He's dead.
But it does look like Team Kafka is going to take this unless we see a big swing here from Team Blade. And
oh gosh,
Chris is trying to figure out exactly how to play around the Ferris wheel without giving his life away.
I've been really excited, though, just from what we've been seeing out of our Honkai Star Rail creators on both teams. And look at these pop-ups yet again for Zyyox. So busy celebrating. He doesn't even care about being eliminated right after. But you can see the steady improvement with every single round that takes place. And I think that it is just so awesome that the collaborative effort from both of these teams, but the way that the Honkai Star Rail creators have really managed to shine in their own ways. I mean, I know a lot of people put so much emphasis onto our Fortnite creators. They're obviously awesome individuals, but there's just something special about seeing newcomers to the Fortnite space, and that's why I love the fact that we have this cross-community collaboration taking place, because you can really tell that these guys are getting into it.
Yeah, Zyyox's reactions have been insane. By the way, you can check out all of our creators on all of their socials. Just look up their names. Zyyox is pushing up towards almost 900k subs on YouTube. A fantastic guide maker for all things Honkai Star Rail and the Hoyoverse games out there. So watch out for all of these creators. If you're watching somebody for the very first time, you're like, man, they look really entertaining. It's because they are. They've got huge followings. You just maybe haven't heard of them if you're coming from the Fortnite world, or vice versa. If you don't know Courage JD, where have you been? Fantastic Fortnite creator. Gotta check him out. He streams all the time. So it goes both ways with this amazing cross collaboration between Honkai Star Rail and Fortnite, like Taco said. But taking a look at our score lines, about the same that we've seen. And what I'm actually curious to know is if Clix is still top fragging for the team, even with the shoddy snipes. And well, yeah, it looks like it. 43 eliminations here for Clix, even having to be restricted to the shotguns and snipers only. It is working for him, except in that engagement.
Something I just got a sneak peek of, though. I want to see if Mina can break 5 eliminations before the end of this round. I believe that's her record so far throughout the rounds that have taken place. And it would just be sick to see her manage to get that one extra, or maybe even more, right at the final moment. She's already on 4. And it's just that consistent improvement. She's now trying to take her chances with this vengeful sniper rifle, but it's disastrous from the Ferris wheel. She's become a target now from the high ground. She'll be eliminated before she has the chance to really close in on elimination. It was Courage JD all along like a hawk from above.
Taking some deep shots. Cypher PK decides not to move and lets 3 shots connect on him at the end of this one. That'll take Team Blade to 108.
I'm low-key down to run in. Oh my god!
All right, getting aggressive here in the final moments, because what else would you do? It's only 36 seconds and counting left. Courage still a menace on top of the Ferris wheel. Everybody else getting into some close engagements. Ninja trying to pick up any that he can in the final moments. There's just too many. Team Kafka's done a really good job of playing the Highland Ruins so well, covering each other's trades, playing on top of each other, making sure that nobody like Ninja can come in and play hero.
Okay, Courage. I mean, I'm seeing some consistency out of that Mammoth. That's for sure. Zyx is gonna find an elimination onto Enviosity right in the final seconds here. Courage, can he add just one more elimination? And he's just robbed of it by the timer itself, goes. But a valiant effort for sure coming out of Team Blade. They were fighting the whole way through it.
Yeah, it was pretty even in the early game. I think there was a couple strings. I think it was actually Typical Gamer and Clix playing together that changed the game. We saw Clix actually struggle at the very beginning of that round in terms of, we saw Blade on top. It was really even for the first probably like 3 to 4 minutes. But once Clix found the weapons that he wanted, again, shotguns and snipers only for Clix, he was able to find some nice success playing with Typical Gamer. They're able to cover each other's crosses, take the high ground in center map, and that kind of changed the game for Team Kafka. But looking back on some replays here, again, Team Blade started hot and they took an early lead, but once we got some nice loot for Team Kafka, started to even things up and then starting to pull away.
But I just love the fact that for Team Blade, they were still able to make that initial threat presence, because they were not making it easy by any means there for Team Kafka. Team Kafka was really struggling to try and find any kind of momentum. Granted, they were able to get their rhythm going eventually, but I think it just goes to show that Team Blade, all they really need is a little bit of time to strategize, and then they can start, turning the tides in their favor. Granted, it's always going to be difficult when you've got Team Kafka making the same collaborative effort too.
Yeah, team strategy is definitely getting better and better along with the individual skill too. Some nice highlights here from Clix. Shotguns and snipers seemingly very comfortable on both of those weapon choices, able to play in every single range. But some fun moments from everybody as well. Typical Gamer, like I said, playing this high ground on top of the roofs here. This is where they started to pull away. You can see it in the scoreline up above in the replays. But everybody getting involved, and there's Mina, one of Mina's eliminations, actually her first in that round. And Ninja found quite a bit of success as well. And, Ninja and Courage have kind of been leading the charge for Team Blade, and both of them were trying to play together. I think Team Blade, if they can kind of what I call the old death ball, if they can kind of stack up and play as an entire team unit a hair better, I think they could definitely take round 4 based on these replays.
One thing's for sure, if Courage gets a hold of that Mammoth pistol, he can definitely be a menace to Team Kafka. He was just consistently dinging away at everybody's shields, if not finding an elimination outright, just from getting some really clean shots. But it is all down to the high ground control in a lot of these different moments. And of course, hard not to smile, hard not to be excited when you see some of the creator moments and their just reactions overall, finding their own eliminations, their moments of success. It is just awesome to see.
Zax's 2-piece there was almost as big of a reaction for the first time he killed Ninja, eliminated Ninja there. A fun replay package, a fun look back on round number 3. And folks, we are not done yet. We've got one more round right around the corner. I'm so excited for this one. We got to see if Team Blade can finally pull it off, finally get a win under their belts. And I'll be curious to look at the scores as well and see all of our individual improvements as we've gone along. Again, this is all for fun, across collaboration between all of our creators and our 2 different communities we're representing here with Fortnite and Honkai Star Rail. I know we've got some big competitors, I will say, on both sides, but everybody's seemingly still having a ton of fun as well. So Taco, walk me through the scoreboard. Let's take a look at our individual improvements and, of course, our top fraggers.
And this has been one of my favorite parts. It's just, we've got one more round left to work with, right, Gosh? And so for that one, look at these scores for some of our Honkai Star Rail creators and keep those in the back of your minds, everybody, because I think the name of the game in this final round is going to be whether we can see some of these creators actually set their own personal records for a round elimination counts just on an individual measure. We know that it is a huge team effort across both sides, but I think it'd just be really sick to see those steady little bits of improvement. And so I'm really hoping that we can get each of our respective teams, especially when you got the Fortnite creators kind of leading the charge on both sides. I really want to see them just kind of continue to uplift the rest of their squads, because I think it is honestly just so sick knowing that our Honkai Star Rail creators are all just doing their best effort, very obviously having a great time along the way, and just consistently finding their own eliminations. It's the little contributions, I think, that continue to keep the morale pretty high.
Yeah, Inviosity picks up 13, by the way. That was, I think, Inviosity's best round. So great rep there from Inviosity for round number 3. Looking at round 4, these are the scores we want to try to improve on as everybody gets a little bit better. Let's take a look at our overall, though, because the story has been Team Kafka all day today. 3 wins under the belt out of our 4 total rounds. And you can see the elimination category has slowly but surely continued to climb. 434 there in total versus 335. And a big shout out to Ninja and Courage, of course, leading the charge for their team in the eliminations category. I did look at Ninja's chat, and one of the chatters says, I think Team Blade would have won if Ninja wasn't so tired, because it's his bedtime. So look, we're all getting older. Let's lock back in for one more round. And who knows what could happen in the final round, all right? If we can get a little energy, a little action, a little movement, a little motion, I think we'll be ready to rock and roll. I'm still cheering on Team Blade all day.
Yeah, it's really just the time of day.
Yep.
That's
what I'm saying.
That's the only that's really been holding them back. I'm right there with you, Goj. I think that round 4, it's really, in my eyes, Team Blade has just been setting the scene for us, okay? We all know that a minor setback is due for a huge comeback. I think Team Blade has just pulled a fast one over Team Kafka. They were saving it all. They wanted the best content. Courage, JB.
Right.
He loves to farm content. Our Honkai Star Rail creators love to create their own content. What better content, what better narrative than starting from behind? 99 elimination difference between your team and mine. And now, in the final round, they're going to look to overcome.
That's right. Hey, folks, anything could happen in round 4. A friend of the show, Legion, was in here saying that Team Blade is just hustling, all right? So let's see what they're able to do in the final round. I do want to remind you of a couple things. First and foremost, yes, we're here for a lot of fun, but we're also here with an opportunity for you to earn some rewards, okay? Head over to amg.gg/giveaway. You can scan the QR code on our screen. We've had a couple giveaways today, and this one is available all the way up towards the end of the show. We are running out of time, though, because, again, with this giveaway on our screen right now, you can earn an RTX 5060 Ti graphics card or a modicum of different Amazon gift cards. They're all up for grabs if you enter into the giveaway, fill out the entire form, and you'll have a chance to win it. We are pulling these winners, though, at the end of the show. Actually, pretty soon. We're coming up near the end. We only have one more round, okay? So if you want to enter into this, maybe win some of these gift cards or maybe win one of those graphics cards, you've got to enter now. We are pulling those away. We're pulling those winners up on screen. You'll literally see your name on the screen at the end of this broadcast. So make sure you fill out that giveaway now. If you did fill out and vote for your favorite team earlier, that voting has closed. That winner, all of those winners, will be pulled and notified via email and be notified on the website as well, okay? So for this amg.gg/giveaway, we'll pull these winners at the end of the broadcast. The other one, you'll be notified via email. A lot going on, a lot of things that you can earn just for being here, okay? So we're really excited that you're here, and hopefully you can be one of our winners today. We're about to go into Game 4, though, and we're about to head back into Honkai Royale and about to see if Team Blade can get their first victory of the day to wrap things up. And Taco, now that we're back to 3, we're going into the 4th round. Now that we're done with 3 total rounds, we've seen a lot more of the map now. Do you have a favorite POI? Have you noticed? I mean, we've been fighting a lot around those Highland Ruins, and of course, the middle of the map, we've got a chance to see a lot more of it. Any favorite parts of the map? Anything that kind of stands out to you?
I think it's just got to all be about the Central Zone, right? It's inspired by the 5th world, but there has just been so much high risk, high reward involvement, and I think the centerpiece in my eyes from the Central Zone is going to be that Ferris wheel, because it is risky for sure, Ghost, to try and take control of that ultimate high ground, but if you have it for your respective team, it is such a strong focal point. You can really control the flow of the rest of the lobby. We've seen so many preventative efforts being made from both sides, because whoever's up on top of that Ferris wheel, they definitely seem like they can influence how many eliminations are actually going to be racked up towards teams on the low ground. And I think specifically looking towards that like Highland Ruins area, we've been seeing a lot of eliminations take place from from teams that are on that Ferris wheel because they're just able to force players into that low ground territory. And the same thing from the northeast side of the map, that snowy urban district, right? Inspired by Rilo 6, it's very difficult to actually escape those low ground points if your team is not in control of that Ferris wheel.
Another gold?
Yeah, I think that's a great breakdown, and I totally agree. I will shout out, by the way, we saw a brief glimpse of it for the first time. The Astral Express is also in Honkai Royale, folks. You gotta go check out this map. And again, this Honkai Royale map is a custom Fortnite UGC map, heavily inspired by Honkai Star Rail's aesthetic. You can go check it out now. It is public. But we are starting things off hot and rebooting as Team Kafka takes an early lead. But it is the very beginning of the game. Anything can happen. And right now, we're just looking for some solid loot. This will help everybody out. And it does look like Mina is talking with Clicks and saying, hey, look, if you need a sniper, I've got one for you. I think Clicks is looking for something a little bit better.
He's just waiting to see if he can get his hands on a higher rarity sniper. But I love that team effort still. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I found a gold legendary revolver. Do I just hold this?
That was the greatest moment of my life. I'm gonna remember that forever. I clipped it. Gold light and shining armor.
Gold red dot by the way.
The vibes are high. There's no question about that. We're doing sing-along karaoke time in our final round.
This is where I belong.
I told you everybody was having a dang good time. This is hilarious.
This is really what this event is all about. It is quite literally just so sick to have these moments because the two universes colliding here, Goj. I mean, the Honkai Star creators, the Fortnite guys and ladies, they're all having an awesome time here together. Courage, though, will be shut down with an elimination there by Clicks, but he might be avenged soon after. Team Blade hot on his heels.
We're the best. Best. I can guarantee you.
Very close there from Duro, but a nice trade from Ninja. Trying to connect some shots deep. Can we get a little bit of help from the backside? The team play. Courage does go down, though. Been paying a lot of attention. This player on your screen right now, Zyox, looking for even bigger reactions this time. Maybe we'll get a three-piece instead of the two double kills that he's been double eliminations been able to pick up in the last couple maps. He's had some fantastic reactions for us.
Once in all of this.
See if he gets more this time.
You want to try to pull it to here?
Ooh, can't get the wall jump. Go anywhere to safety. Nowhere really left to run there. Except into the clutches of more Team Kafka members. But Zyox is really finding his sync, dude. He is just all over the place right now. And it's just like, yeah, you would think that he is one of the Fortnite creators at this point, Goj.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. He's looking clean.
True.
I'm not sure Clicks has said a single word in the last 15 minutes. This guy is so locked in. Okay, he said something. Huge. And he's also connecting his shots.
Sus building, sus studio.
Are they at train station or no? No.
Wait for it. It's going to be a shot into hand towel, into another shot.
94 on one.
He's just to hit somebody first. The moment he gets an elimination, it's going to be hand towel. Calling it now.
I'm coming to there's three in there. There's three.
I think you're 100% right. By the way, Zyox set a personal goal of 30 total eliminations. He needs 13 this map. We'll see if we can get it as we see Clicks put on a show for us. That's wild.
I know scope too.
I mean, Zyox, if he manages to stay in this like tag team effort here with Nina, might be able to achieve that goal sooner rather than later. He's got himself a little bit of med miss to work with too. Having these self-heals is definitely useful. It does get some damage in return before being fully eliminated. But sadly, now it's just going to be Nina left to her own devices here until another member of Team Kafka might be able to just regroup with her, provide a little bit of backup. Ferris wheel control, though, does seem like it's going to be firmly in Team Blade's hands for right now.
Good job, great.
Sorry. Two here.
Going up.
I mean, dead.
I need a shot.
That guy's tapped on you, Jake. I tapped him.
I'm coming.
Oh, Ferris wheel.
No, I actually cooked the typical
Ninja behind you, Ninja. He has shotguns.
I'm stuck in a wall.
Oh, yes, wonderful.
Running into Clicks and PK.
What is this
It happens to the best of us. The reload of doom there.
Holy
happy,
cow.
happy cow.
That was insane.
How is her like rage still happy though? You know what I mean?
That's right. It's
Like
a huge smile as she screams at the top of her lungs, literally. I hope her neighbors have got to be asleep right now. Hopefully there are no neighbors. That's all I can say. Everybody's waking up on that street. Holy cow.
So bad.
Dude, look at this tactical strike force though. Ziox, man on a mission right now. Ooh, just falls short though of finding another elimination. I do love that call out though. I love the fact that he's also set a personal goal in the first place. It just proves the point that, you know, just because it is a, you know, worlds colliding type of event here, you never want to count yourself out as one of the star players, basically. I think that Ziox has definitely made his presence known for Team Kafka. He has contributed so many elimination points throughout each of these respective rounds so far.
I don't even care.
Oh my god.
I killed you, Clicks. I don't care. That's my night.
Yeah, Clicks introduced Happy Gal to Gravity there.
Building time, multiple.
I think Mega just try to get away from Clicks, trying not to give eliminations away to the opposite team. I respect the plays. I respect the strategies right now. Happy Gal back on the hunt, though. Finds typical gamer. Total eliminations, decent little spread here. We've got 36 to 23. Certainly can overcome that if you're Team Blade, but they got to be safe with the way they're playing, making sure not to give away too many lives as Clicks is top of the Ferris wheel yet again, sniper in hand, and everybody knows it.
And everybody's looking at him too from Team Blade. That was a pretty coordinated effort there to eliminate him from the top of that Ferris wheel. And it's not just Clicks that's suffering currently. Team Kafka members being picked off one after the other here, as TG will also fall victim in this all-out assault right now from Team Blade.
Fob Master trying to find some angles from downrange. Already on 6 eliminations, by the way. It's pretty solid there from Fob.
Oh my god.
Found a trash can has been touched. Guess what's inside of it?
If I'm not mistaken, he had 6 in the last round too.
Yeah.
So he might be able to overcome that, possibly even double up on that last elimination score count. And Velocity.
Yeah.
It's coming right to
hoping to just be able to touch down without being eliminated from
I don't see him.
his reboot here. Duck. Can he find it? Sure enough, Nora will be eliminated. But now Duck still has to deal with quite a few other members of Team Blade nearby.
Oh my gosh, bro. Of course he's sniping his sniper.
They're all in that corner building. Oh my.
Got Courage back on ultimate high, but in a bit of trouble here with everybody looking at him yet again. So he's gonna have to drop back down,
like a pro. That's cool.
heal back up, and try to figure out where he wants to go from here. He's only on 6 eliminations right now and gets pushed by typical gamer.
68.
What does that do?
Oh no, air charge!
Get down, Mr. President. That's the vibe that we just got. A little bit of panic in those calls when the airstrike actually comes through. Okay, jump snipe is a little bit disgusting there. I'm not gonna lie. I can't even hold you for that one, Courage.
Yeah, I'm going behind him. I'm going all the way behind him.
Dead. Nice. Okay.
He's white.
15. I'm ADSing too.
Oh, this.
Nice.
I'm telling you, Ziox is locked in right now. That was some nice plays.
6 away.
Yeah, he's looking pretty strong.
Someone there.
Got some nice movement as well.
Oh, wait.
Pickle chip is
On top.
90 on that guy.
How do I pin this guy?
We're down by 10.
Oh, behind.
behind who? Behind what?
By Fob, another one.
Yeah, what's him up?
We are down by 10. Lock in.
Starting to close the gaps. I like it. It's definitely possible. Again, I think it's just going to be playing those lives as much as
50,
you can reboot immediately, playing your life and not giving a life away to your opponents, not giving them any sort of momentum, letting Ninja kind of cook a little bit. It's on, I think, 17 last we checked in with them.
Bottle hiding.
Team Blade basically saying, "Sir, yes, sir," to Courage. Though they're really trying to stack up the eliminations, and it starts by taking down Clicks from the top of that Ferris wheel. Now Courage is going to take the opportunity to head straight towards the rooftops.
Wait.
Underneath.
Oh, wonderful. I'm cooked. Yep.
And Team Blade continuing to just kind of push the forces of Team Kafka further and further towards that southwest section of the map here. That's really permitting most of Team Blade to get some very favorable positioning, and just as long as they have the high ground control,
Did you get him?
they can definitely look to try and cut down on this elimination difference.
I can't find anyone, bro. Like Courage playing up close and personal. Fob Master playing high ground currently.
Why, Jonathan? Shoot him with your mind.
Okay, we can use our minds. That's good. Why not?
I don't
Oh, ruins, I think.
White on that guy.
It's typical. It's not yet.
I mean, they say a lot of battles are won mentally.
So true.
I think Team Blade has certainly been winning the mental side of things.
Gamers on first wheel.
Oh, nice play again there from Team Kafka. That was Typical Gamer and Clicks working together. Clicks playing long angle with the sniper. Typical Gamer goes up high and picks up a triple. That is brutal.
Then I will live.
Nick!
Yeah.
Dude!
You have 8 minutes. Don't worry, Ziox. 8 minutes, 5 eliminations. That's all it takes. Waiting to see whether or not he gets one step closer to that personal goal.
Guys, I'm scared.
There's a bunch.
And he has gotten one step closer. 9 eliminations
right.
now. It's so close he can taste it. You can just tell he is on the hunt right now.
Right here.
Need about 2 eliminations per minute.
A little bit closer.
Or no, rather 1 elimination per minute. You'll still have room to work.
I haven't died in a minute.
You have 7.5 minutes left, and you only need 4. Wow, yeah, you're right. Definitely gotten closer. Folks, one last time, I've got to remind you here on broadcast, you got to check out, of course, this map. But to do so, I also want you to check out Honkai Star Rail. It's free to play, and they have a brand new update, 4.0 Plan Arcadia update with Phantasmoon games and so much more. You can get it for free on the Epic Games Store. You can use the QR code here to make it nice and easy for you, or head over to the Epic Games Store and check out Honkai Star Rail. It is free to play, and of course, this entire map is all themed after and inspired by Honkai Star Rail and all of the different worlds you could explore on that Astral Express. Really cool lore, really cool storyline. Definitely go check it out.
They're hiding. Where are they hiding?
Comms are getting serious right now for Team Blade. I just want to take a second to like.
One's landing on you, Courage.
Yep. Might be Typical Gamer. It is. It's Typical Gamer for sure.
50 blue.
Got him.
What's that vibe back there? Okay, nice.
Is that person still up there?
Yes, behind us.
The building they're hiding in.
It's one in this building.
Is this corner building is where 2 of them are at least?
Wait, on the right here. They just killed one of our teammates. They just killed one of our teammates.
22 blue.
They are stressed right now because look at our score line. It is a 6 elimination spread with 6 minutes left.
He's one shot.
This is so close.
Ooh, the all-out assault right now, though, from Team Blade. Oh, but Clicks is going to shut the dream down, finding that elimination onto Enviosity. It's going to force Team Blade to come to a bit of a pause, but the frontal assault right now, though. You were mentioning just before this round started, Goes, I want to see, all of Team Blade moving is just like one singular unit, and that is exactly what they have been doing. I mean, the call-outs are very distinct, and the fact that they forced Team Kafka largely into hiding here, there is so much pressure put on the Clicks, but Happy Gal eliminated the moment that she tries to follow him up the center. It's just devious work there from Clicks, but Courage still has high ground control currently of the Ferris wheel. He's looking to see if he can apply even more pressure towards some of the Team Kafka members huddled up inside of that corner building. That has been their main operation base in this 4th round.
Blue or white. Got 2 on
I believe that's Courage JD. Put some respect on his name, all right? He's got the gunny. He's found some great shots over the top and has that high ground position like you were talking about. Duck can't quite get things going right now, but unfortunately, it does look like Clix has tried to rip down Courage and actually was successful with it. And elects to go low here. Make sure he doesn't give his life away. And woo! Inviosity's going to be thinking about that one for a while.
It's just so hard because you want to take those shots at Clix, but if you're out in the open, you always run the risk of him shooting right back, and he's not the only one. The rest of Team Kafka, they're doing a great job at following his callouts, following his markers, trying to keep tabs on where one of their leaders has been at, because as long as Clix can help lead the charge here, and Ziox, 4 minutes remain, Goj. 3 eliminations still left to try and tally up here.
I'm going.
For him to hit that personal goal count.
No, he's dead. He's dead.
Everything had to be reloaded.
Someone just
Duro on 6. Tied up with what he's been getting the last couple of rounds. Could see a personal best there as well. Jonathan on 4 currently.
down here.
What a shot by Clix. Wow.
Jonathan's kind of been playing support for this team, though. When the team's pushing up aggressively, he's been playing kind of long range, just trying to tag up anybody that they're trying to fight. Typical Gamers on 27 of the team's 84. We are running out of daylight here with 8 eliminations left. Everybody's been having a ton of fun in this cross-community collaboration, but I gotta say,
I genuinely don't understand how you could process.
comms are aggressive right now. They want the win.
Nice.
Dead?
I'm coming home.
5.
Karaoke night, everybody. What's your favorite song?
I mean, yeah, 3 HP. There's really not many options left there for Courage. Sadly, nobody else from Team Blade had any kind of healing resources for him to look to try and recharge a little bit there.
What if we shoot down the entire building with our infinite ammo?
Aim for the ankles.
Clix is by ruins. By ruins. He's
I'm
yeah.
gonna get in closer. Moving in.
7 elimination spread. Ninja's on 25. And they're going to try to push together. Down goes Ziox.
Start healing. Courage, they're on you. Courage, they're on you.
Yeah, it's TG landing on me.
I got him. One's pulling in. One's pulling in. Towards me. They're landing at city now.
It's just so close. One more shot. That's all they need. They can't see him through the bush, though. Click still just barely managing to hang in there.
I don't have an interest.
But members of Team Kafka, they're being eliminated as we speak. The reboots, and now the closest margin we have seen so far throughout these 4 rounds here today goes 2 eliminations separate a tie. 3 eliminations now. Oh,
another one
nice. Scratch that.
It's tied up. Unbelievable. Courage is actually able to pick up Clix, so Clix is rebooting right now. If they can get eyes on him, this could be the difference. It's an even ball game in round 4. Could Team Blade finally do it?
And just when you think that Team Blade might have the opportunity to pull ahead, Team Kafka, they manage to scrounge up just 1 more elimination to cut the difference. Now it's going to be 94 to 92, but it's still such a thin margin. Anyone can find those crucial elims currently for Team Blade. This is still within striking range. Round 4 completely up in the air for either side here as Team Blade taking it down to the final hour. Goes, they might be able to do it.
It's so close. We've got 70 seconds on the clock, folks. And Team Blade has the lead. They're up by 3 eliminations. And Clix goes down. It's up by 4. And we've got a high ground position as Courage JD. Raining shots from on high. Courage says, let them come to my position. I want to fight. I want every elimination I can get my hands on. And Ninja tells everybody to hide. Hide in the corner. Courage, stay on high ground. Courage got eliminated by Clix. The snipes are landing. You cannot let Clix find you. We all hide in the corner.
Everybody hide. What a calm, what a strategy, but it might just work out. Only 25 seconds remain, and there's 3 eliminations just to tie things up. But I don't think Team Blade's going to give the opportunity here. It's all down to Courage just playing his own life while the rest of his team plays hide and seek.
We'll trade out. Down there. We'll trade out. We'll trade out if we need to. 6.
He's up top just sitting there, bro.
Bro.
They can't believe it. Team Kafka finally fall. Let's listen to the celebration. First of all, one thing I love about Happy Gal, can I just say, fantastic content from all of our creators. Happy Gal loves to do our Fortnite emotes for us, okay? We had some nice dances there towards the end. There's a lot more where that came from Happy Gal's channel. That was... What a win for Team Blade. Can I just say I feel so proud to be wearing the Blade cosplay today, representing my team here in the booth, because Team Blade, you've done it. You've got your very first win. It took a lot of heart. It took a lot of passion. It took a lot of chemistry. And frankly, a great IGL call to hide towards the end. I think that was the right play. Hide under the stairwell once you get the win. Courage baits them all out. And guess what? A win for Team Blade. Let's look back on the replays from that one. Celebrations going wild. It was a close match all the way start to finish.
This might be the most perfect example, though, of it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish, because Team Blade did the dang thing in this 4th round here, Goj. It's hard not to cheese for them. I mean, I know I am a key representative for Team Kafka, but the whole point of this event was just bringing the best of both worlds together. We've got the Honkai Star Rail crew, we've got the Fortnite talent coming through, and I just love to see that everybody kind of got their own piece of the pie today, because I think that there were some genuine friendships made throughout each of these 4 rounds, and it was just so awesome to see Team Blade finally get their strike back.
No, I totally agree. And some fun moments here, again, from all of our creators on both sides of that coin. Of course, Ninja was putting in work and being an IGL for the team. Courage doing a lot of the same. But it was a team effort. Both teams, even. Team Kafka here. Duck finding some fun moments. Unfortunately, not able to find that elimination, but some fun moments nonetheless. And I gotta say, Typical Gamer might have been the MVP that round. Was going crazy working with Clicks to make sure you can find success. And Click's still connecting on a lot of, well, great shots downrange.
Click's kind of just doing Click's things with a lot of assistance, though, from the rest of Team Kafka. They were definitely setting him up for success pretty heavily, trying to make sure that they were consistently supplying him with just sprinkling in damage across the map onto whatever Team Blade members they could find, and then just letting Clicks do the rest from range with that sniper rifle. Or if he had to get up close and personal, the twin hammer shotguns definitely boded pretty well for him there. And as you already highlighted, Typical Gamer was definitely popping off in his own rights. But I think my favorite moment out of everything was just that last call out from Courage, the hide scream heard across the map there. I can't think of a better way to close things off.
20 seconds, 20 seconds.
20 seconds, 3 deaths.
Here's the last 20 seconds. Hiding in the corner. The celebrations go wild. The dances come in. So much fun on the last round of the amazing Astral Rift Rumble. Team Kafka versus Team Blade, and Team Blade finally get the victory. Clicks still top fragger across the board. Ninja pick up a 30-piece, but some solid numbers from all of our players. Everybody getting a little bit better along the way. And you can see Ziox there does only pick up 10 of the 13 he wanted, but still 27 total is a fantastic number. Big shout out to Ziox from being a stellar player throughout the course of this competition, but also a stellar content creator. Some great clips, some great reactions. Tuanto as well was fragging quite heavily throughout the course of the day. I think of the non-Fortnite creators, I think had the best round of 21, I believe, in round 3, so, or round 2 rather. So a big shout out to Tuanto there. And then Fobmaster actually picking up a personal record there of 11, I believe, playing kind of longer range support, and it worked out for him.
Yeah, I think members on both ends of the spectrum were really able to try and surpass even their individual expectations. You know, at the start of today's matchups, I think a lot of people were kind of just like, hey, let's just see what takes place here. But overall leaderboard, I think that we are looking at a total elimination spread across the way, and Team Kafka, Team Blade, they both did what they could to try and get those final elim counts up and running.
Yeah, and I gotta say, as much as we're hyping up Team Blade here at the final round of this amazing Astral Rift Rumble, it is a Team Kafka victory, okay? Team Kafka did pick up 3 out of the 4 wins. I will cheer on Team Blade long after this competition is over. But officially, Taco, I'll let you take it away since you are representing Kafka here in the booth. Your team crushed it today.
I'm really proud of everything that I got to witness coming out from Team Kafka. I think every single one of these creators that were involved for my team, they could not have done a more excellent job because everybody had played their part, okay? It wasn't just one person. I know that everybody's going to be looking towards Clicks, towards Cypher, towards Typical Gamer, but we saw so many pop-off performances, pop-off eliminations, and it is just incredible scenes to witness them all combined for 531 eliminations here, Gosh. That is insane to witness.
Yeah, 531 eliminations in essentially 80 minutes, 20-minute rounds. Really impressive stuff. Some really fun action. It was fast-paced. It was a lot of fun. Everybody was smiling, having a good time. But the comms were also quite competitive. I will say that was one thing I was pretty impressed and maybe even a bit surprised by. Everybody took it very seriously as well as trying to have a lot of fun. And because of that, I believe Team Kafka was able to find some early success that kind of carried them through to the finish line, like you said. So a great job from both teams. Team Kafka, though, ended up picking 3 out of the 4 rounds and end up with almost a 100 elimination spread over their opponents. But a great job nonetheless from everybody. Everybody got better and everybody had a dang good time. Also, can I just say, Honkai Royale, that map is so dang cool, folks. Again, I don't even have to tell you this. You need to check it out. You've already watched it all day today. A really cool Fortnite UGC map, all inspired by Honkai Star Rail and the different worlds that you could travel to on the Astral Express. And you even travel into the map in Fortnite on the Astral Express, which is so dang cool. So some really fun stuff happening with Honkai Star Rail in Fortnite. But Taco, wow, somehow we've done it. We've finished our 4 rounds, and I think we've got a couple more things to get to. And I do want to remind people at home very quickly that we've been talking about it all day. You actually saw it all day, that the Stellaron Hunter, Kafka, and Blade outfits are available in the Fortnite item shop. I've been telling you about it. You've seen it. But also, I do want to remind you that players who purchase eligible items in Honkai Star Rail via the Epic Game Store, that is very important, via the Epic Game Store, you do receive the Stellaron Hunter Blade outfit like I'm wearing and our players wore in-game. You receive that outfit for free as a gift with purchase. So make sure you go purchase your eligible items in Honkai Star Rail via the Epic Game Store to get the Hunter Blade outfit in Fortnite as a gift with purchase. A very cool feature of this collaboration, and hey, it looks real dang good in game too. The detail is unbelievable, so make sure you utilize that amazing collaboration and what they've set up for you there with the Epic Games Store. But Taco, to go back to you briefly, I do believe we're gonna have hopefully a word with one of our winners here before we wrap things up today, and then of course talk about our giveaway winners. I want to ask you the question I've been asking you all day. What do you think about this competition? How do you feel versus the beginning of maybe what we expected and then what we received by the end? I had a ton of fun, and I'm sure you did as well, but I want to hear from you.
I think that it was just great to see kind of the creative direction that both teams opted to take. Every single round felt like there was some kind of little mini meta development that they wanted to try and really oversee. I think for Team Kafka, a lot of the emphasis was kind of just corralled around get Clicks a high rarity Vengeful Sniper rifle as quickly as possible. Make sure that we get him a shotgun he can utilize in case he does get challenged from those high ground positions, and maybe even toss a couple of shield potions, heals his way, anything that he can use to try and restore his HP if he did take too many pot shots in return. But I think from Team Blade, a lot more of the initiative kind of developed into a let's just roll around as a unit. They stopped trying to send out like the mini groups of like 2 or 3. They instead started putting a little bit more emphasis on the numbers that they were initially strike forcing with, and I think that it was a great little spin up. It made things much more complicated for Team Kafka. I mean, we saw the difference it made even in that last round where Team Blade was actually able to bring it home.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fantastic breakdown, and I totally agree. It's just such a fun day, and I'm so excited that we're able to kind of showcase everything that this Honkai Royale had to offer all of our players. I love what you said there. You said the developing kind of like micro metas that we saw. It was really fun to watch. I totally agree. Like, I felt like if we would have played 4 more rounds, it just would have kept developing over and over again in every single round of all of our players thinking of new and fun strategies. But we have to, before we wrap up this incredible showdown, we've got to talk to the man of the hour. Clix is ready for us. Clix is our champion here with Team Kafka, the captain of Team Kafka. And, well, Clix was able to do unspeakable things on the map with limitations his way as well, with snipers, shotguns, and everything in between. Let's bring Clix into the booth and talk to him and see how it all went down, because I gotta say, there he is. Smiles on his face.
Yeah, how you doing? How you doing?
Dude, listen. I gotta ask you a very simple question.
Yep.
I have to go straight forward. I'm just forget about the first 2 rounds. When you are top fragging by a mile and they say shoddy snipes only, what was your reaction?
Honestly, very, very unfair, because I honestly look at my skill level as the same as Courage and Ninja. So the fact that they're nerfing me to get their own win, I think is a little bit fraudulent, but it is what it is. And nonetheless, I was having a lot of fun.
Look what they need to mimic a fraction of your power, after all, right?
Yeah, that's right. Just practice my sniper skills, am I right?
Listen, I saw that, and I immediately knew it was going to be dangerous, okay? I have not forgotten about chapter 4 or 5, I want to say.
Yeah, good old days, am I right?
Yeah, yeah, that's something that, we might have to reconsider for future competition. But I mean, working with everybody in Team Kafka, what was something that might have caught you by surprise, getting a chance to witness some of the Honkai Star Rail creators in action?
I'm gonna be honest. They're better than I expected. They are a lot better than I expected. And honestly, Ninja impressed me on the battlefield. He was pulling out numbers I think I've never seen from him before. He really is just a zero build GOAT.
Hey, fair enough. I totally agree with you. Both sides, your teammates and your opposition, were actually playing fantastic. I want to go back to the beginning, since we skipped over it. In the first round, it seemed like there was some confusion. You were like, okay, well, I got to figure out what loot I can use, what loot I can't use. So, I'm going to try to work together with my team. What was the main strategy that led to your team's success today? You won 3 out of 4 rounds. You all crushed it. What was the one thing you maybe learned throughout the course of this broadcast is the reason why you all won?
I think team chemistry is what I learned today, because my whole entire team, we were laughing, we were giggling, we were jiggling, we were having a great time. And especially Cypher, PK, and Typical Gamer. I mean, us as a trio, and then having the rest of my team on both sides, kind of pitching them in 4 different corners, that was what really made us prevail.
Nah, Clix, that was definitely awesome to witness, though. And what was I guess your number 1 priority once you realize, hey, I can only use shotguns, I can only use a sniper rifle? How did that switch up your guys' comms at all? Because it looked like you were just trying to take full control of the high ground.
Yeah, I was trying to get on high ground and honestly see any snipes as I possibly could. But the second I got my hands on those dually shotguns, that's when I knew it was over. But last game, I got stuck with an iron pump, didn't look too shabby, and then we lost.
Well, I've got one more question. Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up. Do you know what... This is my actual question for you. Do you know what happened in the last round? Obviously, you lose the lead. Do you know what actually the call was from your opposition once they gained the lead? Do you know what happened?
Yeah, the call was, I'm not to use toxic words here, but it was very loser mentality. Hide. Winners don't do that. Winners fight till the end of it. But what losers do? They hide till the end of it. So that's what I saw right there.
Yeah, that's correct. I think it was a screaming as loud as possible from Courage and Ninja.
Let me guess, it was Courage? Yeah, of course it was Courage. Wanna know why? Because Courage is a fraud. I'm saying he's a fraud.
Oh, man. Hey, we might have to see you guys run it back with another 4-man after that. That sounds like fighting words from your end.
Yeah, definitely fighting words over here. Is Ninja going to be a part of this interview as well?
I think Ninja's done for the night. I'm going to be honest.
I think it's just... Well, when he was getting belt that hard, I would be done for the night as well.
Clix, look, man, you absolutely crushed it throughout this entire competition. It was a pleasure having you. One final note, I want to give you the floor. If somehow, maybe some of the folks that are tuning in from the Honkai Star Rail side of things don't know who you are, give yourself a shout, tell people where they can find you, and then you can head out of the booth.
Thank you so much for that. So I am Clicks, and I'm a professional Fortnite player. I play FNCS. I do Consecration as well, but really just a competitor at the end of the day. So that is Clicks.
Shout out Clicks. You can find him everywhere. He is all over the place. A fantastic interview. Taco, that went about as I expected. We love Clicks in this house. Had a fantastic tournament with him.
Yeah, jack of all trades when you really break it all down, and I'm excited to see best of luck tomorrow as well, Clicks. I mean, you started off with some big wins here today, and let's see if you can do the same in tomorrow's competition.
That's right. Well, we had a ton of fun here at the Astral Rift Rumble. Team Kafka versus Team Blade. Taco, I go back to you as the representative of Team Kafka. Your team did a fantastic job. They win on the back of their captain, Clicks. But I want to give you the floor to talk about whatever you'd like. We had such a fun competition together. And first of all, I thought you absolutely crushed it. And I'm actually going to pause on that for a second because I'm getting word. As much as we feel like we won here in the booth, Taco, we got a bunch of winners to talk about. All of the people that submitted for an opportunity to win some of these gift cards, we got to talk about all of them. There's like 40 people we're about to shout out, or maybe more than that. So we'll do this a little tag team here. I'll take the first page. You take the second page. Folks, if you see your name on the screen, you don't have to go anywhere. You won. Congratulations. You've won one of our $20 Amazon gift cards. This is our first 20 given away to Daisy Honey, your Ignite, and so on and so forth, all the way down the list. If you see your name, you are a winner. So congratulations. You will be contacted and you will get your gift card ASAP so that you can use it for whatever your heart desires. Big congratulations and thank you for submitting. Thanks for, submitting your form and getting involved in the chat. We love having you here and we love reward people for just tuning in for these amazing broadcasts.
Yeah, Coach, I'm starting to think that we maybe should have had a couple of ghostwriters ourselves submitting those forms for us too, because this is such a sick giveaway and I really can't reiterate on it enough. Huge congratulations to everybody. Thank you guys so much for not only participating by watching and supporting the broadcast and all these awesome creators in this co-world collaboration, but this is your prize as well. Aside from the viewing experience, if you didn't have enough fun with that, I don't know what to tell you, but just in case, I mean, this has really got to seal the deal on a great night.
No, I totally agree. And here's our second page. Another 20 winners for a total of 40 winners of our $20 Amazon gift cards in this category. If you see your name, congratulations. But guess what? We've got more. We've got $50 Amazon gift cards as well. 20 winners on this list again. If you see your name, congratulations. $50 in Amazon gift cards headed your way. You can use that however you'd like. Big congratulations. And again, it's just rewarding you for being here. We love to do this with these types of broadcasts because you're what makes these events so special. Just by tuning in, submitting your info, getting involved in the giveaway, and an opportunity to win some of our rewards. So here are 20 winners here. $50 Amazon gift card headed your way. But guess what? That is not all. We've got our top tier winners. The folks that, well, frankly, are going to be extremely excited because we've got some GPUs headed to a couple lucky winners. Let's take a look at who they are. If you see your name on the screen, guess what? You just won an RTX 5060 Ti. Congratulations. You'll be contacted via the email that you signed up with, and I am just I know you're freaking out. I'm freaking out for you. Really exciting stuff. This can level up your game when you're playing Honkai Star Rail, when you're playing Fortnite. You're going to be getting all the frames you could possibly want. This is crazy stuff here for the two names on our screen, Blitsteria and the Jamelson. If I said that correctly, fantastic. And if I didn't, well, you know what your name sounds like. And a big congratulations to you, RTX 5060 Ti, just for entering into our giveaway. So big congratulations to all of our, what was that, 62 winners from that single giveaway? That's insane. And I got to remind everybody else for the voting giveaway, when you voted for your favorite team, that will all be notified to you via email and also be on the website tomorrow. So even more winners as well, just for tuning in. Crazy stuff today. I feel like we won in the booth. We got a bunch of people winning by watching the broadcast. Taco, what a great day.
Obviously an insanely awesome day, and I really want to give a huge shout out one more time to all of our Honkai Star Rail creators as well as our Fortnite content creators that came through, pulled up to put on a fantastic show. You guys did an excellent job working together in your separate teams, but I think most importantly of all, you guys were really able to showcase just how much fun can be had inside of that Honkai Royale map. I think it's really awesome that everybody kind of got an idea of what to expect if you decide to hop in to Fortnite yourself and maybe check things out with your friends, see whether or not you can maybe try to beat some of the scores that we saw from all of our creators taking place here tonight. But definitely for you guys back at home watching, make sure that you go give a lot of follow love to all of these creators because they really put on a great effort to bring us an awesome viewing experience.
I totally agree and couldn't have put it better myself. That was the best Taco. Fantastic caster. Absolutely crushed it in the booth. And I wish her the very best because I know Taco's doing a lot with the Fortnite scene and did an amazing job here in the booth with me. But folks, for the final time, I have one more quick reminder for you before I close out tonight's broadcast. And again, I will echo what Taco said. There's a lot going on in this collaboration, and to experience everything going on in this collaboration and purchase the official items and everything you need to do in order to get our outfits here, our Blade outfit in the Fortnite item shop, you need to download a Honkai Star Rail right now. It's for free in the Epic Games Store. Go check it out. There's a QR code on your screen right now. Get involved in the game, folks. It's a massive 4.0 Plan Arcadia update with the Phantasm games, and so much more was included in this game. There is so much in Honkai Star Rail, and even more was just added with this brand new update that just dropped. So go check it out. It's free. You can play it right now in the Epic Games Store. A lot going on with Honkai Star Rail and an amazing collaboration with Fortnite. But folks, it's the worst part of the show. I gotta start closing things out, so I have to remind you at home that we couldn't do it without you, the viewer. Thanks for tuning in, and I'm sure we'll see you in another broadcast right around the corner.
Elimination, that's like he's going to save his life temporarily, but Clicks immediately going in, just knowing everyone does seem to be enjoying themselves on Team Kafka as Cypher.
Actually playing front, man. Entry frag does not connect, but they do keep their loot technically, but watch out for those ammo totals. It's been a big conversation.
Out of ammo for this Deadeye Assault Rifles. There's only so many options left. He's going to eek, and he is just trying to terrorize players on the opposing hillsides.
Yeah.
Ninja, we can see how he can get involved now and try to take out some of these players from Team Kafka.
Oh my goodness. Or has it really decreased? But over 100 eliminations for Team Blade and over 130.
Kafka, he's got to keep an eye out, head on a swivel, because you never know where Team Blade might be lurking. Sadly, Jonathan can't escape here. We're not seeing those 30 elim, drastic leads from the
map. I'm so here for it. Happy countdown.
Remember, it's really hard.
Yeah, definitely a promising effort. And you called out this POI from before. This
is where they're not going to necessarily be able to back up the rest of Team Kafka. But Psyox will fend for himself. Ashcan, RNG there. At least that's something that...
This goes down, I do believe, from what I saw on that in-game leaderboard, with about 2 minutes left.
Courage. From the structure instead, as now Ninja with the wraparound. He's got another member.
Yeah, I'm going back with you, Jake.
Good.
Talk about a lock-in. His eyes were just laser focused. Tons of markers. They're like, hey, we're going to go on the aggressive front. We need everybody else to kind of just...
This is kind of like hold, wait for me. You have to play with your team.
Really excited though, just from what we've been seeing out of our Honkai Star Rail creators on both teams, and look at these pop-ups.
It's because they are. They've got huge followings. You just maybe haven't heard of them if you're coming from the Fortnite world, or
you want to try to pull it to here.
Ooh, can't get the wall jump.
Goal of 30 total eliminations. He needs 13 this map. We'll see if he can get it.
Oh yes, wonderful.
I'm going all the way behind him.
Nice. Okay.
Largely into hiding here. There is so much pressure put on the middle hour. Gosh, they might be able to do it.
It's so clean. They're up by 3 eliminations. And Clicks goes down. It's Team Kafka finally fall. Let's listen to the celebration.